Imagine everything you love about the hobby in the palm of your hand. An entire store at your fingertips. Everything you need to know about cards is within your grasp. Unlock the secrets of the hobby. Plus, so much more. You don't have to imagine anymore. It's here. Card Ladder. Get the app today.
A little bit of FOMO right now.
Massive FOMO.
Massive FOMO. Shout out to all of our buddies who are in Dallas tonight and this weekend for the Dallas Card Show. Hope you guys are having a great time. All right, guys. We have some mail days to do. But maybe we let a people that usually mail days we just get them in really quick. Let me just let a few people flow in here still.
Well, I can start with mine. Mine's a lot smaller than yours. So
All right, go for it.
we'll build up to Chris's. Chris has the big mail days today.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of jump through these. 2014 Topps Chrome Devontae Adams refractor. I think I may have already shown this. I just have it out because I was scanning all this stuff in. 2014 Contenders Devontae Adams.
Sick. What are the pops like on those?
This one's probably like 50, 60, something like that. This one's probably like in the 20s. I don't actually know these two. I don't know the other ones. I was like, I know. Most football in this range is like the more common ones like that are 40s to 50s.
Okay.
2013 Topps Chrome. We're already starting the Christmas is live. Nice.
That was only 6 days ago. Can you imagine that?
That's crazy, yeah. That felt like a long time ago. 2013 Finest Hopkins Gold Refractor PSA 10.
Oh, man. That's nice.
2007 Contenders Calvin Johnson BGS 95 Quad Plus.
This is nice. I'm detecting a sport theme here. Am I crazy?
No, I'm on full football mode, dude. I stay focused when I get something going. I don't really divert. I haven't bought a LeBron card. I haven't bought a LeBron card in months.
Wow.
This one's pretty big. 2004 Finest Gold X Fractor Larry Fitzgerald. I think this one's pop 13.
This is a hell of a mail day, man.
These are at a 150.
Jeez.
Yeah, these are cool. Yeah, the last two are pretty big. 2013 National Treasures DeAndre Hopkins PSA 10 RPA at a 99.
Great looking RPA too. Amazing design on that.
Up 5.
Wow.
And it's got the thick PSA slab, which I kind of like. I know
Yeah.
I'm usually a BGS guy, but I kind of like these.
There's something cool about how they're kind of form fitting. It's pretty cool.
And this is one of my favorite cards I've gotten in a long time. It's pretty random, but I just love this card. 2007 Ultimate Calvin Johnson autograph at a 99. PSA 10 pop 5.
Damn. That's awesome, dude.
This is a thicker card as well. It's like it's not like a thick RPA kind of thick, but it's definitely more than your standard.
That's a great looking card. Durant was a rookie that year and has the basketball version of that with the same design. It's a great looking card.
Yes, sir. I think Durant's are higher numbered. Correct me if I'm wrong, but football's at a 99.
Nice. I'm not sure.
All right, but yeah, go for it now. We got people in. Your turn.
Let's go. Got 2 cards this week. Only get mail days like this about twice a year. So very happy. First one, picked this up from Golden. Luca, Luck of the Lottery. Prism Gold, rookie, 9.5. 10 of 10. Luke only has 2 Prism Golds that are not autographed. There's the base, and then there's this one. Don't have the base with me, but am enjoying this one in person. And, yeah, cool. Very cool.
Dude, where's it? You gonna pair it? What are we gonna?
I don't have
Yeah.
it. I don't have it. I didn't go get the card today. It's at the bank. So I only have this one with me right now.
Pretty slick.
Yeah, pretty happy about it. So there's that one. And then cards like this have become so rare for me. But won this last weekend on eBay. This is the 97-98 Flair Showcase Legacy Row 1. Card is numbered to 100. MJ only has 7 legacy parallels from the 96, 97, and 97, 98 seasons. And this is one of them from the 97, 98. So love this card. I gaze at it quite a bit. So
How did it do compared to what you thought?
it went a little higher than I thought. When it came to this card, I bid lower than I thought it would go for, and knowing that okay, if it goes that low, I'll be happy. This one I bid higher than I thought it would go for, knowing that I would be kicking myself if I didn't win this one. The last time this card came around was 2 years ago, not quite, little more than 2 years ago. January of 2019 was last time one of these showed up, and it sold for 1/9 of the price that it sold for this time around. So I wasn't about to have that happen to me again. Needed to make a strong play, and I did. So this is the Grail Mail Week. Does not happen very often.
Dude, that's your first Grail Jordan in like over a year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think about what are the last few Grails I picked up. I would say 2018 Prism Gold LeBron last fall. That was like my Grail of the fall. And then, man, I don't even. It's been a long time.
I think it was probably the crap, what's that one out of 100? It's like the gray background.
Yeah,
Platinum
Yep.
Medallion. I think that's probably the last one you got.
Yep, I got that the winter before the Last Dance, so that would have been about a little under a year and a half ago. So,
Jeez. That's how it goes, man. You can't just like get, especially in today's market, you can't just get a Grail every 2 months. That doesn't work like that. So it's kind of it's maybe a little bit more satisfying even.
yep, and then I package them back up in these slab guards. Slab guard is a really, really nice service. I care more and more about like the condition of slabs these days, not just the card, but like the slab itself.
Yeah, look at this. If you're wondering about what it could do if you don't slab guard, it might be hard to tell, but this gentleman who had this case before me, there's scuffs all over the front of this case. I'm having a hard. There we go, right there. Look at that. See that?
Yeah.
It is a really old label, but still. And then the Calvin Johnson's pretty scuffed up too. I'm having a there. You can kind of see it, but need those slab guards.
Yeah, you do. Run by a great hobbyist, that company is as well. So, all right. Thank you
Get
guys
started.
for in the mail. Big ones. You know, I was talking to Josh this week, and I was like, it's important, I think, as hobby content creators to put our money where our mouth is, not just say what we like and what we do, but do it as well. The old adage is do as I say, not as I do, right?
Yeah, I'm so obsessed with this stuff. It's not even that I'm like trying to do this to prove a point. It's like you can't stop me from buying sports cards. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, it does. It works the other way around. We'd be doing this either way, but we're making content talking about it for now. So let me give a quick plug to the newest episode of Sports Cards Culture on the Card Ladder YouTube channel, titled How to Prepare for Sports Card Shows. So if that topic intrigues you, and it is very topical, please check that out. Then another announcement, Card Ladder has introduced custom date ranges on the graph. Josh, talk a little bit about this and how it works.
Yeah, so up until we launched custom date ranges, you could filter by a bunch of different time trajectories, but it would always start with present day and it would go backwards. So like if you're looking at the all-time sales history, most look like this, which is okay. It's just not very helpful when you want to look maybe in this range, you want to go back. So we have the ability where you click this little pencil and you can like click the years and like quickly filter through the different years. You can even go back like let's just pick 2014, February 4th through December 2014. So you can really drill into like a specific time, and it'll also update the data below to show you how many sales are in that range, how many, the high, the low, the average, and all the same stats you're used to. It's just now you're not forced to look at it ending with the current date. And this works on all graphs. Compare, collection, dashboard, index, everything.
Very powerful feature. Very, very powerful feature. So great. Yeah. Always rolling out new features for you guys. And I believe that one is a first in the hobby. So enjoy. I use it quite a bit. I was using it when I was writing headlines the other day because now I can, if I see a sale that happened 2.5 years ago and I want to make that the range, now I can do it. It's extremely helpful. Okay. Any other announcements before we get to questions?
Nope. Let's do it.
All right. Many, many questions this week. Thank you guys for doing that. People, we will not be able to get all of these tonight, but I appreciate it. So the first one comes from, I'm going to try and go quickly though. First one comes from Breaking Sports. He says, just a comment. Ryan, Card Collector 2, raved about Card Ladder this week on Card Talk Podcast. We know. I just want to say thank you to Ryan, Lou, and Tyler, who are all at the Dallas Card Show. You should go say what's up to those guys if you see them. Great guys. Really appreciate the support that they've shown us over the months. Josh, you have anything you want to add to that?
I messaged Ryan today and I just said, how much it meant to me for him to speak on it, because I know Ryan is he's one of the most genuine guys in the hobby. So for him to say that, he's not just doing it to plug us, or he's not doing it for any financial gain. He really believes it. So I said, appreciate it, and said have fun in Dallas. Ryan's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. That well said. All right. Goats and Grails, speaking of Dallas, says, just some information for you guys. The Dallas Card Show is bedlam. Just crazy in a great way. Any thoughts on what we've been seeing on social media from the Dallas Card Show?
I feel like there's themes of each of these. The last one was like the goats. People buying like high pop goats, and that market's definitely come down. Nobody's talking about that anymore, but that's a different topic. The theme of this one just seems like fun. I kind of agree with Goats and Grills there. It seems like it's just people having fun and kind of just enjoying, maybe like post golden auction, people are just enjoying what's happened and all the good that's come to the hobby. And I don't know, what did you take away?
I love that take. That does seem to be the theme so far. Seems to be everybody is just freaking thrilled to be there. Over 650 tables, and they had to spread out into 2 different rooms. It's asked in the chat by Leftcoat, how many people are there? If anyone in Dallas, I don't know why you're watching this if you're at the Dallas show, but if you are, how many people are there? Or if you've got an estimate, you can look around Instagram, how many people are at this show. I would love to know that number as well. It is definitely in the thousands.
Yeah,
I can surmise that for sure.
Yep. Do you want to know how much FOMO we got from it?
Tell him. Yeah.
We booked our national stuff today. It's no coincidence. Like, I was watching the video today, like, dude, fuck this. I'm booking this stuff right now. Christina, let's book these rooms, this airfare. Let's go.
Yeah. Shout out. Okay, so back to collecting. Says it picked up tonight. 5,000 people. Tomorrow may be bigger. They cut out early for the crossover. Lou says, I am here now in my hotel room because I'm washed, and it's definitely in the thousands. It's wild in here. Dude, shout out to Lou and the Card Talk squad, man. You guys, your booth is looking crisp. Josh sent me a picture of your booth, and he's like, we need to look like this at the National.
It was a picture of Lou. It was a picture of Lou's face, and I was like, no, not Lou. What's behind him? I want that sign.
Shay sent me a message. He said it's like a movie. He feels like it's just a movie there that everybody's 100%. A character in.
And you know how people are maybe like a little bit shy to like make content and film. Dude, film everything, and I watch all of your stories because I just want to soak it all in. So like, you can't make enough content, to be honest.
Totally agree. Enjoy, guys. It's just getting started too. It's gonna be crazy tomorrow. Have fun. CD Cards asks, what is your favorite card show memory?
Favorite card show memory? Man, that's tough because it's just something about, okay, I know what it is. It's got to be the after party that Grant and I threw for the invite only party. It was just a blast. Like, it was just all of our friends hanging out, talking cards. People had cards with them. We had an open bar. It was just fantastic. It's just nice to be around card people, like it's a nice change of pace from regular life where you only see card people through your phone or Instagram or eBay or whatever. So to actually be around people who are weird like you are is fun. I mean, that's kind of like what conferences like this are all about, right? They're about like being around people who like weird stuff like you do.
Totally agree. Look at that. We got all the legends from the show in here. Carbon is in here. What's up, dude? Rodman is in
Rodman,
here. Damn.
I bet,
Guys, we're jealous.
Rodman, I bet you're sober.
Rodman was flexing some of his grails, too.
Yeah, that's
Rodman,
awesome.
what are you doing, man?
I said on the sports card culture last night that I would not bring my grails to the show, but every time I see you guys bring stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to bring my cards and have fun looking at everything.
So true. All right, we have another card show related question. This comes from 610 Sports Cards. With the money being thrown around these days and with rare cards behind display cases and the omnipresence of social media, how do you balance hobby love with people's different personal boundaries? An example that comes to mind is filming a deal happening at a show without getting permission first.
Justin is one of the great hobbyists, one of the OGs. So got to think about this one a little bit more than I usually do. Yeah, I mean he's pointing out something you definitely need to take into account. Like I said, film everything, but obviously there are definitely boundaries, especially on deals, because a lot of guys that are making deals are very sensitive about that, and they maybe don't want like people filming it. So like definitely get permission on filming someone else's deal or someone else's cards, before you do so. Because especially, yeah, he's right. Like with social media the way it is and content creation, like people have their phones out filming everything, and some dealers maybe don't want you showing that, especially that like if you're going to the show, you may have a specific reason for wanting to sell things in person and not sort of like display them for sale online. And if someone's posting a video, they might get bothered when they don't want to through the internet. They'd rather just sell in person. So that there is some like personal boundary stuff there.
Good points. Huge shout out to Justin. And it's a thoughtful question because we are in a social media age where everything's being filmed. And, let's say you set up your display case and then 10 people at the show come and film it. And then it's in YouTube videos and it's in Instagram and stuff. And it's like, this is cool. I'm obviously displaying my cards, but at the same time, it's like, what's the boundary here? How far can content creators go and feel comfortable showing stuff, but like not invade people's privacy? And I think film and display cases is completely fine. I think that's totally fine. Film and dealers is fine. But definitely, if people are making a deal, if there's cash out, at that point in time, you probably want to get permission. Does that sound fair?
I would get permission to film someone's display case. But yeah.
Also agree.
Okay.
Let me just jump in here from my corner and just say, like, whenever we would go to card shows, I would always start talking to the dealer and then ask permission, just like I do in a card shop. Like, can I film in here to post online? And, like, just be, like, super upfront and like transparent and be kind and respectful, and like 9.9 out of 10 times people will say yes, but you just got to give them the option to say no.
Yeah.
Well said. So I stand corrected. And as I think about it, like, yeah, get permission before you film stuff. I think that is always going to be a path to success. Get permission before filming stuff. You won't have to worry.
Yeah.
And be nice to people too.
There is a lot of people that steal content, so there's the possibility that the dealer might think you're trying to steal the fact that you own those cards or whatever. You never know.
Yeah, that's super, super true. Kyle Collects says, I recently got a Grail level card and I'm starting to come down off of the excitement. I know how you feel. I'm looking for my next chase, but nothing seems moderately priced anymore. Stuff is either $250 or cheaper or $7,500 or more, nothing in the middle. What does everyone else do after getting a big card? How do you get back the thrill of collecting? What are people doing when they can't find cards in their budget to collect? I think this is a great question for people doing some window shopping at Dallas this weekend.
I mean, I go through my tried and true thing. I can just speak on that again, I guess. I usually like look for some new avenue and start buying like cheaper things in that, like you said, less than 750. I usually like to play in the 500 to $2,000 space. And I'm always like looking for stuff that interests me in that range. And it happens to be football receivers right now, but it might be Panini, variations for LeBron. It might be a different player or whatever. And you just want to like get back to the original process of buying, flipping, selling, just like getting back to the opposite of grail hunting, which is sort of just like the day-to-day of cards and buying different things. And then eventually, you'll have sort of like the capital in those cards and the equity, and to be able to figure out what your next grail move is and consolidation and kind of start over. But that's just one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah. Or football is the opportunity. Everything that I've collected of McCaffrey has been in the range of 250 to 7,500. It's all in that range. And honestly, it can almost become a problem because, like, this week, I just found myself casually like his 2020 Optic Gold Vinyl 1/1 hit eBay. It was like 500 OBO, and I'm just like, this is too freaking cheap. So I offer 300. It gets hit. Now I'm just like picking up football crap left and right. Football is in that range. Football is in that range where it's fun to collect and it's not breaking the bank. So football is a very viable alternative. And you know what? I was never a football collector until a year ago, but I love football. Collected football is a blast, and it's different than basketball. Different schedule, different pacing, different dynamic of individual versus team. I think football is a great recommendation for stuff in that price. The other side of that coin, I would say, is it might be hard, but it's worth the wait to get the one big card rather than, falling into this groove of sort of buying mid-range stuff, but it's not really what you want.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's like the question to me is asking like, how do I bide the time until I have the money? And like, I don't want to just do nothing. I want to keep collecting cards. I want to keep being active. And I think maybe that's the heart of the question. That's why I was saying, like, maybe, try to find stuff that's cheaper that you'll be able to turn into something bigger as you accumulate in the future, so that you can kind of get back to cards and not just sort of like be stagnating, trying to save cash. There's a couple routes to take there.
Definitely. All right. Cardi Sports Cars asks, what's the best way to say thank you to someone in the hobby?
Oof. Send them a card. It's the easiest, best way. Because I think a card is it's like a gift, like a Christmas gift. Like, it's personal. You know what that person wants. Hopefully, you know what their favorite player is. Look at their Instagram, figure out what they collect. And like, if someone got me, some sort of like penny or football card that I didn't have, it would just, be like way more meaningful than any other gift, because they know that I know that they're paying attention to what I'm looking at, what I'm buying, and it's a very like personal. I would get you guys some sort of Luca card, maybe that you didn't. I told Christina earlier, I sent you guys the last like 4 eBay listings I've sent you. You bought all of them. I'm like, I need commission for some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I got gift ideas out the ear for you guys.
Thanks to you, we have an outstanding offer on eBay right now that's being contemplated.
Oh God, please don't do that one. No, give me a card. I can't, or, maybe like giving them some love on Instagram with a post or something. Also, like, people always like that.
100%. Simpler the better as well. One nice, this gets uncomfortable to talk about, but I've heard it shared in some arenas that, sometimes people will want to express gratitude, but they'll send somebody like 100 base cards or something, or 100 cards that are not particularly desirable.
Right.
So like, the real way to say thank you, God, it's hard to say this without feeling snobbish, but send somebody a PSA 9 or PSA 10 of a nice card of a player they collect. That's the way to do it. That is simple, concise. One nice card, maybe a little handwritten note to say thank you.
Yes.
That's very appropriate in the hobby. People do that in the hobby. People share in the hobby. Just don't send somebody a thank you that just becomes kind of a burden on them. You know, that's the thing you don't want to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, don't send me a Luca base.
I don't know. Prism Luca base would be okay in a PSA 9 or 10, I think.
You did that, and you give a PSA 10 base Luca to a guy at work.
Too many. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, the gift either has to be very expensive so I can flip it without telling you, or something personal.
Exactly. And that's totally reasonable too. If you send somebody a nice gift of a card, like
yeah,
if it's not something that they want to collect, and they sell it or trade it or something, that's okay. You've helped them. They will be more grateful to you that you helped them get into a card that they wanted even more.
you give someone a Christmas gift and you give them the gift receipt. It's like, yeah, you might want to just exchange this for something you like better, and that'll make me happy because you know I got the wrong thing or whatever, but get something you like.
Perfect metaphor. Someone in the chat said, who said it? Back to collecting said Chris will send 199 of those 100 base cards to PSA.
Mine just got one.
Yes. All right. Right. True. All right. RBB the fourth says, talk about the decline in prices of 1986 Fleer MJs. A very, very good time to talk about this because it was this time 2 months ago at the last Dallas show when that card was starting to go crazy. What can we say about the decline of this card?
That's what I was saying. Like, we go through these fads, and then we, as a community, we rarely revisit the cards that are on the downward of the middle finger graph, and the 80s Jordan and like some of the 90s Kobe stuff and LeBron 2000 stuff is definitely going through that middle finger curve. And like we said, at that time when that stuff was going crazy, everyone was thinking, oh, it's all about the GOATs. You got to buy that stuff. It's the best investment. It's never going to go down. And then now, 3 months later at the next Dallas show, nobody's talking about it because it's going down. And it's definitely going down. Like, all this stuff is down. A lot of these graphs are pretty similar. Like, you can see these ups and then back downs. Like, the stickers are like the ones that are getting ravaged the most. I think like the PSA 7 and 8 sticker Jordans are like way down. Yeah, look at that. Nothing too shocking, I guess. Like, it's pretty expected. You can't just like 3x overnight and expect that to stay consistent and to continue on. You have to, the supply is going to go up because a lot of people want to cash in on that, so then the prices go down. Pretty simple. So like, this stuff will all be fine long term though. Just to round this out, like all this Jordan Fleer rookie stuff, if you're trying to like flip it after it's just tripled, you're going to be upset and you're going to lose money. But if you're trying to hold this stuff for a long term and get in at a good entry point, like, you'll be fine.
Good point. Good point. Well said. Rodman says the word on the street at Dallas is nothing is hot at the show. Everyone is asking big money and no one is biting the bullet. What's that quote from that old great collector, Warren Buffett? There's many Warren Buffetts in this hobby. Perhaps his most often cited quote is, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. Sounds like we might be in the latter part where people are fearful right now to buy things. And perhaps that's my own confirmation bias right now because I just bought 2 big things this week.
Totally, man. I mean, like I said, when stuff triples or quadruples in a month and then everyone's saying their stuff to Golden expecting to get rich overnight, that leads to like massive amounts of greed, and then prices are going to dip on some of those, and then we're going to see some comps slip through that like obviously aren't going to sustain these ridiculous numbers. Like, what was it, the Stardate one? Just for some reason, I don't want to like pick on that because I know a lot of people.
Let's talk about Stardate for a second. Yeah,
that card is coming crashing down as expected, and so like the person at the last Dallas show, that card was trading for, geez, I get the dates messed up, but like, 15, 20,000, that kind of stuff just isn't going to maintain. Like, people are eventually going to get tired of buying a pop 181 card for 25,000. No one's going to be able to maintain that. So when one of those lower comps eventually slips through, then people start thinking like, okay, well, I've seen it at this higher price, so I don't want to sell, as it's going down. So I'm going to just list my cards at the previous price, hoping it goes back to that. And then the buyers are like, well, I've just seen a few of these items come down in price by 100%. I'm not willing to buy what it was a month ago. So you just got this like gridlock of like, well, I'm not selling until it goes back up. Well, I'm not buying because that stuff's going down. So you just kind of get this scenario of like nothing's hot, everything's stagnant, and then more and more stuff's gonna eventually like get sold off as people like just settle for the lower price.
Yeah, great point. We made a tough judgment call with respect to the Kobe Stardate PSA 10 a month or two ago. One allegedly sold for $70K. There were screenshots sent that the seller got paid, and then we were going to find more information when it got delivered, and that extra information never came to fruition. We made the executive decision to not recognize that sale as a likely to be consummated sale. It went to purgatory and set it to the charts. I think that was in hindsight, I think that was an ethical and responsible decision, because now we have a comp, as Mission Street Cards pointed out today on his story. We have that card is now comping at around 20 to 25K.
And that's a PWCC auction at 22K, not like you might think, oh, it's just like a bad listing. No, that's about as good of a listing as it can get with the best comp you can get. So like, we're not trying to flaunt that the card went down. It's just realistic. Like you just can't realistically take a card that was, what was the percentage? Let me look at the 1 year graph. A card that was $600 a year ago. You can't just realistically be like, yeah, it's 70 grand now, and not expect the 80 people that own this card to not want to cash in on that. And so the supply goes up. There's been a bunch of these sold in the last few. There's only 89, and we've got 4 listings in the last month. So like, yeah, it's not surprising.
Definitely. I want to highlight a comment from Lefko. It's a very smart comment. In the Reddit Wall Street world, they celebrate their biggest losses just to show that things are constantly moving. I'd love for the peak buyers to show themselves and to talk about it. That is really insightful. I want to point out another related topic. This is the concept of survivorship bias. Survivorship bias is the logical error of concentrating on people or things that have made it past some selection process and overlooking those that did not, typically because of their lack of visibility. This can lead to some false conclusions. It is a form of selection bias. Survivorship bias is that idea that we only focus on things that are successful, and as other things fall away, we don't think about them anymore, so we don't actually have an accurate perception of how often things are successful versus how often they fail. It's a great concept.
You just described social media. Well done.
Connection.
You just like wrapped it up in a nice little bow there.
Yeah.
It's like people on social media aren't going to tell you when things are bad. You know, even myself included. A lot of times I'm selective in what I show. I like to show stuff that is doing well or stuff that I'm picking up recently that's exciting. And honestly though, like it is kind of hard to find examples of like cards that you've bought in the last 5 years that have not done well. So like, to be fair, it is pretty tricky to do that, but there's definitely cases where people are buying stuff at peak, and people that bought Trae Young at the beginning of the year probably aren't too thrilled with the performance of those cards in the last few months, and there's less of that coming out, and they're maybe just waiting for next preseason to bring it back out. I don't know, but it's I mean, nobody wants to like brag about a loss. That's no fun. So it's pretty expected.
Yeah, it is. And yet, I think if you go to hobby YouTube and you search like biggest mistakes I've made in sports cards, those videos get the most views. Those videos go crazy. I mean, people love those videos because it's a dirty secret in the hobby that a lot of people make a lot of mistakes, and it's nice to hear that other people have made them as well, that it's normal, and more importantly, there are always things to learn when a mistake is made. And what even is the definition of a mistake? If the definition of a mistake is overpaying for a card from the short-term point of view, I've made that mistake 10,000 million times. But I don't even know if that's a mistake, because the way I select the cards I collect, the way I hunt, the type of stuff that I like, sometimes I have to overpay for it. A lot of times I do. I don't consider it a mistake. I consider it a notch in the belt of my collection. So I think what might be considered a mistake completely depends on point of view.
Yeah, my humble advice towards this topic is like, I've said it a bunch of times on this show, is like, just don't buy something that's 3x'd in the last like 2 weeks or a month. It's just like, you're just never gonna, in the long run, you're never gonna be like satisfied with that, especially a card that sells often. Like if we're talking about, you know, like a a grail type card that's super rare that hasn't sold in 6 months and you're paying 3x or 4x the last sale 6 months ago, that's a totally different. That's not apples to apples. That's a totally different example. If you're talking about like a card with like Pop 150, it sells pretty frequently, once a month or something, and you're gonna pay 4x what it just sold a month ago. Like you're probably never gonna be, feeling right about that purchase in the long run. Just try to avoid that scenario, and I think in the long run you'll pretty much be okay.
Definitely. You gave advice on a sports cards culture episode not long ago. Said make a list of the cards that you want and make it in a rational state of mind, where you're not suffering from FOMO, you're not at a show and money's burning a hole in your pocket. You're not sitting on eBay like, oh crap, these Jordan rookies are going crazy. I have to buy one now. Instead, make this list in a rational, sober, clear state of mind. Make the list, and then just if one of the cards on that list starts doing what Josh said, it starts 4xing in a month, okay, just relax, because we know the history of middle finger graphs. We know how that plays out. Move on to something else on your list. Keep an open mind. Have different options of stuff that you're looking for. And like Christina said, if you weren't willing to buy this card 3 months ago, and
Right.
now it 4x's, and now all of a sudden you want it, it's a pretty good indicator that FOMO is driving the purchase, not a legitimate desire to collect that card. Is that fair?
Really fair. I mean, and look, like I'm not here to tell people how to spend their money. That's obviously not something I'm interested in doing. This is just purely just giving super simple, casual advice from my perspective. Like very easy to follow, and I think most people would agree that what you just said, that Christina that stated, like, yeah, don't try not to buy something that you definitely wouldn't have bought 3 months ago. Now you're just like eager to do it. I mean, that's why the rare collecting stuff is so interesting to us, because all this stuff is kind of thrown out the window. You don't have any choices really of like when you buy it, when it comes up. It's like this exciting thing of like, oh, I haven't seen this card in 2 years, like you said on that legacy, and it's like, what do I do to get this card? I haven't seen it in 2 years. I'm willing to pay what it's going to take, or I'm going to move cards. It's just like a totally different mindset than continuously trying to chase the next high pop card that's going to jump and fall like that. That's just like a scary, risky game, and it's just like not the way that a traditional collector thinks. So it's hard to like stay ahead of those curves, and it's just like a dangerous gambling game.
Good points. All right, Mikey Mo says, would love to hear about the life sacrifices, in quotation marks, you both make to allocate time and money to cards.
Man, I mean, I quit my job.
Let's go.
So there's one example.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm trying to think. Like, obviously, like family comes first, but there's definitely been instances where, like I'm at a show and I've sacrificed time with my kids or my family, and sports cards are important to me. So I try to balance it as best I can. But there's definitely instances where if I didn't have sports cards in my life, I would be doing a lot of other different things that I'm definitely giving up. Probably family's the one that I would end up regretting the most. I can't think of anything else specifically, but like my career is probably the biggest one. Like I was working at Amazon for a while, a couple other big tech companies, and I've given all of that up. Like I have no interest in that anymore, and pivoted it completely to cards and card ladder and stuff. What about you?
Oh, it's a great answer. Pretty similar story. I would just say, I sense this in your answer too. It's interesting to think of it as a sacrifice, because it's also a choice. It's balancing priorities. But at the heart of it all, it's not like we're like, oh man, I really don't want to buy this card, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Thinking of it as a sacrifice just strikes me as a little odd. We love to do this. We also love to have other aspects of our life, and once in a while, you do have to make a tough choice. But if you're choosing between good options, it's pretty tough to think of it as a sacrifice. But yeah, some of the things that get lost out on our, leisure time. I think that's the biggest one for me personally, is just because of cards and because of this business and because of how hectic things are right now and how fast things are moving, and how important I feel the work that we're doing is. There's just no time for leisure, just none. There's stuff to do and it needs to be done now, and it just gets done. So that's the sacrifice for me, is that like I don't watch movies. I don't, I do make time to watch Mavericks basketball games. I do that, but other than that, I'm full throttle, because you know what, if we aren't, somebody else is going to be, and the time to strike is now. Moments, opportunities, they don't always happen like this, and you got to recognize a good opportunity when it's in front of you.
Well, and you're maybe trying to be too humble, but you gave up like a pretty lucrative career in law as well.
Yeah. I just giving it up is an interesting way of putting it, is all, because like it's also a great opportunity to be able to just be involved in cards. It's fortunate, and it was
pretty nuts. It was pretty nuts to be at the apex of that decision with you, and it was like, what are you gonna do, man? Like, this card ladder is going to die if you go do law, and it's gonna be awesome if you don't. So like, no pressure here.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I was like, this was your idea, man. This was all your idea. This is not me. Don't tell me or anything. You wanted to build this thing, and so you gotta commit. Lefko asked if my boss. Yeah, my bosses were not quite as understanding of what was happening when I told them. It's like, oh, I'm going into cards. Like, oh, it's kind of, the reaction is kind of like, oh, that's cute. They're doing like a little hobby. I'm like, no, it's like it's a pretty like lucrative thing. I'm doing fairly well with my collection, and it's time to move on to that. Oh, okay. And I thought they could like offer a little bit more money or a little bit more time with it, and it's like, no. I'm a bit understanding. This is like my career now, and I've found something that it's pretty important to me. Oh, okay. Well, have fun with that. All right. Well, you're not going to get it, so that's fine.
Yeah, that is tricky. That is tricky, man. Trying to explain something like this. Hell, entrepreneurship in general, I think, is a concept that's not easily understood by a lot of people. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the traditional route, like it's not the 9 to 5,
no.
Work till you're 65, have a family and kids, and go to your normal salary with your health benefits and just do that route. I think the younger generation is really not super impressed with that sort of format, and they're looking for new ways and creative ways to make money and survive. And what is retiring anymore? What is like the normal constructs of how you make money or how you live? Do you actually need a 9 to 5? Do you actually need to make $100,000 a year to survive? There's different like creative ways to, like, the whole minimalist thing, which I've always found fascinating. People that can live off very low amounts of money, that can retire on $200K of savings. There's all these different theories and stuff that have popped up through the use of the internet and people sharing ideas, and it's great.
Well said. I love that little tangent. All right, so many questions. Summertime. Let's go. This is a card question here. Summertime cards, also at the Dallas show. Shout out Summertime. He says, National Treasure's player-worn RPAs are selling for several multiples more than flawless game-worn RPAs. What do you think about this?
People are valuing the set and the grade more than the details of the patch, which I've detailed before. Mr. Money Mustache, shout out to Yamwax. Mr. Money Mustache was like one of the OGs of like getting me to think about money differently and how I approach the world. So shout out to Mr. Money Mustache. Sorry, I got totally lost my
RPA's player worn,
RPAs.
NT versus flawless game worn.
I brought this up when the RPA sold of the LeBron and the Golden, where like I thought maybe the patch should have warranted a higher price, but clearly there wasn't much of a premium put on the patch, and it was more so just like because it was an 8.5 or whatever. Yeah, it's frustrating. I think this just keeps going back to new people in the hobby maybe just don't understand the difference between player worn or game worn, or they don't know that it matters, or they don't care. And that education will come with time, and it's definitely frustrating. Like a lot, but I mean, like a lot of the RPA stuff that I have is player worn. You just got to make that decision. Like, what's like the ranking of how I value things? Is it that it's the right set and like the true card for that player, the right rookie card, or is it that it's game worn? Like it just depends on how you value things. And so, it is frustrating for a collector to know that like stuff is player worn. So I definitely understand that side of it.
I get it too. I do caution that we are careful that we don't get too critical and we don't try to deconstruct too many things in the hobby on this never-ending prowl to discover something that's undervalued. There needs to be consensus, and all consensus is going to be in any aspect of life. Consensus is going to be ultimately based on certain arbitrary decisions. It's inevitable that there will be arbitrariness distinguishing things. I'm not saying that player worn versus game worn is arbitrary. It's not. Game worn is clearly preferable from a collecting point of view. But the thing that I want to be careful that we don't get into this habit of constantly deconstructing whatever product is successful. There are good non-arbitrary reasons for National Treasures to be the flagship. The first and most important one probably being its history and its legacy. And how it traces back to the Curry RPA and so forth in 2009. And then, the second one just being that brand recognition is the first one that comes out. Brand matters. What's the difference between a Lexus and a Camry? There are mechanical differences, but the overall difference is the brand. And brand matters. Brand matters in life. Brand is a thing that is oriented around marketing and consensus. I just think we want to be careful that we don't think ourselves into a situation where we actually don't have any brand recognition anymore. We don't have consensus anymore. It's a free for all. If we undercut too many of the foundations of the hobby, we start getting into a really weird intellectual arena.
Yeah, I just want to be mindful of the fact that there's a lot of collectors that will die on the hill of only game worn, player worn sucks. And it's a good stance to take because you don't want to give in to accepting player worn if you can try to get these companies to wait or do it properly to get game worn, because we would all obviously prefer game worn. So if we just as a community just totally don't pay any extra money for game worn versus player worn, there is an issue with that, and that Panini and the companies will say, "Oh, you guys don't care. The prices are the same. We might as well just do player worn. It's easier for us." We have to take it into account a little bit to play devil's advocate there.
Nah, great point. Totally agree. Great. My understanding is the reason why NT isn't game worn is because of production lag times. So in order for NT to come out at the point in the season in which it does, the best case scenario is player worn. And then you have Flawless and Immaculate, which come out later. I think Flawless doesn't even come out during the rookie season, even though it is a rookie product. And I think the reason for that is because it takes a while to get those game-worn jerseys. They have to win those at auction just like anybody else, chop them up and put them into cards.
And if you think about the scenario where you're thinking in your head, we'll just switch the two releases, have National Treasures come out at the end and Immaculate come first, and then do the game-worn in that one and player-worn and Immaculate. Then Immaculate dies. Because one of the only thing it has going for it in that scenario is that it is the one that's game worn and it comes out at a later time. So they want to keep both of those products doing well and have their own thing going. But that's maybe just a thought there.
Yeah, it's a good thought. It is a good thought.
Immaculate is nice looking, man. You and I have talked about this Kawhi all the time. We're I don't want to be that. Why is it too cheap? But the Kawhi, if you're looking for a really cool card. I've always thought this was just if you're a Kawhi collector or you're looking for some sort of alternative RPA, Immaculate is a really nice set. The patches are smaller. I think the designs are cooler on this one because it has more color instead of just white on the background. Just another thing to look at if you're especially the guy who asked about $250 to $7,500 or whatever. This falls in that range definitely. You can still find cool, unique stuff. You just may have to give on the brand in this case or the set or whatever the set. Yeah,
totally. I don't want to steal Carvin's thunder, but he's told the story enough times on Clubhouse that I think I can make an homage to it. Immaculate was named after a Madonna album, and it was done by Carvin. That alone makes Immaculate an incredibly cool product to me. that the person who has played a key role in building that product, it has this tie to pop culture, and Immaculate is a very cool product. And I totally echo what you said. It's a great looking product as well. One thing that worries me a little bit that Carvin has raised several times in these clubhouse discussions is that you want to be a little bit leery about the possibility of autographs evaporating on certain service types. Not saying it's going to happen with Immaculate, but worth thinking about, and worth thinking about how you preserve and store and encapsulate those cards.
Yeah, if you look back at late 90s, early 2000s, when they were trying to do autographs on more cards, like Topps would do it on shiny cards, or like Contenders was doing it when like some of the surfaces on those cards were shiny, and the autographs are pretty jacked up on a lot of those. So that's a great point.
Yeah.
We have history and data that actually shows some of those glossy surfaces cards don't hold well with autographs. Like the autographs do much better on a softer white, paper material. So that's a great point.
Yeah, it is. So let me skip to this question. Shout out Carvin. Let me skip to this question. This is from Drake's PC. What qualities do you look for when you're in the market for an autograph or a patch card of a player that you collect? Similarly, what qualities like sticker autos do you avoid? So we don't need to repeat all the stuff we said here. Is there anything else you want to add that speaks to Drake's question?
I look for set first. It's just like, maybe that's a kind of a lame answer because we've talked about it enough, but I do look for the set. I look for national treasures, and I look for contenders for football. I look for I like Immaculate, so I'll look at Immaculate. I look for Exquisite on older stuff. It's the brand. I mean, I hate to be that like snobby, I'll steal from you earlier, but like I hate to be the snob that's like, I want the Gucci bag. I don't want the fake knockoff, right? Like you kind of want like the best brand because
yes,
it gets the best like reaction when you get it in hand. Like you can just kind of sense the power behind it with the set, and so that's usually what I look for first. And then outside of that, just what do you think looks nice? Maybe like try to figure out all the different things that do exist in autograph form of your player and line them up. Just freaking make a list of all of them, look at pictures of all of them, and figure out which one looks the best. That seems like a very simple answer, but I think a lot of times that gets away from us, and we overthink it, and we try to figure out all these different things of undervalued and pop reports, and it's like, which one do you think looks the best? I feel like that's my most common answer on Instagram when people ask me, like, should I get this or this? And my question back is like, which one do you like better? This one, definitely. Then get that one.
Makes a ton of sense. I'm not a huge auto or patch collector. I definitely just stick to the tried and true. I got my contenders and my NTRPA of McCaffrey, and I got NTRPA of Luka, and that's what I got. But I have looked at Immaculate Luka stuff not long ago because I do think it looks awesome.
But correct me if I'm wrong here. That was a little bit of like me persuading you. So like you fall into the consensus. In this case, the consensus of what I was telling you is kind of like the the tried and true brand, and you didn't just like take it and run with it, or you didn't just like blindly follow what I said, but you kind of understood and listened to the logic behind it, and understanding that the sets are important. It's the general consensus. This is what people want, and it just makes sense.
Agree. Totally agree. All right. Let's see if we can squeeze in another one or two here. Say Hey Card says, would you rather acquire your ultimate grail for free but have the player hate you, or lose your entire collection but have that player know you and like you? You're not best friends, but you talk once per month via DM.
Oh, dude. It's got to be the first one. I like LeBron, but once a month?
Okay, so what would it have to be? Once a week? Morning exchanges?
I'd probably give up my whole collection for LeBron to be my best friend.
Okay. It's reasonable. Christina?
But I mean, gosh, the gold cards, like, come on.
I mean, I don't care if Luka and Jordan hate me. I'd probably actually enjoy it. Like, I'd hate collect them back.
Yeah,
And then when I sell their cards, like at the end, like like
makes it
I mean,
easier.
that's
to
a-
sell.
every time I sold a card of theirs and made money off of it, I would like screenshot it and send to them so they'd hate me
Right.
more.
Christina's gonna
The
troll
question-
Luca. and
Yeah.
James.
The question is harder if I dangle Luca being your best friend though. Like if he was going to be your best friend.
No.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I personally am with her. I could care less. In fact, I expect that if I ever met him, I don't care to ever meet him.
No, he is your best friend. That's the question. Not like, do you need to convince him to be your friend? Like he just is your best friend.
Yeah, I don't. No,
Yeah.
no. I like cards. I like the hobby. I love
That's
players.
so
but
funny.
players are like placeholders to me. Like there will always be great players. We'll love to collect them because of the greatness that they represent, and the idiosyncrasies of that person is terrific as well. Respect, it's fun. I admire and respect and show great athletes, a lot of appreciation. I love to collect them, but I do not care one bit to know them, and I don't really, I would prefer that I just never even exist. But I guess that's fighting the hypo.
Yeah, I guess I don't the hypo is you're already best friends and you have to lose the collection.
Right.
Well, I mean, if they're my best friend, it would be awkward to continue collecting little cardboard cut like pieces of them.
I guess.
It's just like the irony of like us collecting an individual player and sort of like pseudo idolizing them, and then the scenario is like you could be their friend. You're like, no, never mind. You're not even that cool. Like you look better on cardboard than you do in real life.
Well, I mean, like, what is it? Like, what would that get you? A best friend?
What we're saying, yeah. Best friend athletes overrated.
Yeah, I have a best friend. His name is Chris Miguel.
Oh.
There you go. Would you
Well, it's
rather
funny-
PC me or have me as your best friend?
You are my PC. You're one of one, and you're not for sale.
If the cards aren't worth anything, like a card of me would be, then it's an easy choice. You take the friend. But if the cards are collectible and they have value, then it's like, maybe I just want to be a collector.
I just thought of something really mean, but I'm
Go ahead, say it, Josh.
Now we have to hear it.
Chris, I love you, man. This isn't like not supposed to be mean. Like there is a card of you, and I'll show it to you.
Oh boy. That's my rookie card.
Oh, that's so bad. I thought of it in my head. I'm like, oh my god, I can't unthink this now.
You gotta tell the people who are listening to this by audio only.
Oh yes, this is the Allen and Ginter egg card. Is my rookie card.
That's so bad.
I like that. Hey, look, my rookie card has a little value. My rookie card had a run there.
It's back to $20 though.
Who could have seen that coming? The egg contingent is in full force at Dallas Card Show, by the way. They were all hanging out with Carvin last night, and they were all on Clubhouse too, through Carvin's Clubhouse account. So shout out to the egg team egg movement.
LeBron can be my best friend. That's tempting.
Yeah, I understand. It's a little different for you too because similar age. You grew up and have always watched him. It's a little different. Jordan's much older than us. Luka's 10, 15 years younger than us. 13. Wait, how old am I?
You're 34. But...
Yeah, so he's 12 years younger than me.
Yeah.
I think it's more like it's one of those things where I've always thought like if he just got to know me a little bit, I feel like he would want to be my best friend.
Yeah.
He just hasn't given it a chance, and this is my opportunity.
Okay. Now, if you told me I could be Luca's girlfriend's best friend, if I had to give up the card, I might pause for a second because she seems really cool. But yeah.
Interesting. So that's like that's an interesting way to get to Luca. I get it. Back
to collecting. What's your submission? What I'm curious. What card did you send this to the submissions? Let's throw in. Do we have time to do? Great question, James. By the way, great question. Yeah, we should probably call this a wrap for hour one, and come back in 120 seconds for hour 2. How does that sound?
I'm just thinking about what I would say to LeBron. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. See you guys in 2 minutes. What's up, guys? Boom.
Oh,
All right. Any more Dallas vibes for us as people fill back in? Dallas vibes. What's going on? What's the vibe there? Back to collecting. If you named the card you submitted, I didn't see it on the last one. I don't even know if you're in here yet. DM him. I will.
Purposely don't have my phone.
no hat tonight. Gotta see my dumb hair. I was working in my room, and Sammy, my son, runs into the room and he goes, "Daddy, quick! I need your hat." And I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense." And I gave it to him, and now I don't know where it is.
You had a take on pizza that you wanted to get off.
Oh, that's hour 3, my friend. That is hour 3.
Okay, all right. Let me note that.
There's no way I'm gonna start ranting about that right now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we're not there yet. No, fair point. Fair
But
point.
if James is in the chat, get ready.
All right. All right. We didn't even get to a whole block of questions, so let me try and get to those quickly. Kings Angels 22 wants to know, does Card Ladder include MySlab's sales data? And the answer is sometimes yes. Sometimes we do. We have included several. We have included several comps. MySlabs owns several all-time highs of some important cards. We need those sales, so we do. And MySlabs is awesome. Mostly 90s basketball cards says more and more card marketplaces are popping up all the time. Are there any concerns about being able to track sales that aren't confirmed on eBay? I'll say some things, and then I'll see if Josh has any other things as well. This is a concern. The concern, but it's not a new concern. The concern exists when things like Dallas Card Show happen, and there's going to be probably, I don't know, millions of dollars at least of deals that happen, and there will be no paper trail and no record of them. So it makes it tough to track price movements that literally might be happening right now that we're unable to see. So it's not a new concern, but yeah, data tracking, information, and transparency are extremely important and have been extremely important to the growth of the card space. Having eBay as that central marketplace hub that sets the comps, it has been important, maybe more important than people realize. And we should not take for granted that we have and are able to see transparently the prices that stuff's buying and selling for. Obviously, we know that not all sales are legit. Most people familiar with us know that we do a very tedious vetting process to try and identify legit sales. Do you have any thoughts on this, Josh?
Yeah, as the technical leader of Card Ladder, I would just say to all the people who are creating platforms or have their own platform to take this discussion to heart and provide an API for your data that can be publicly available, or at least, reach out to me and let me know if we can figure out how to get your data into our app, because I think having that data in our app is good for them, it's good for us, it's good for the whole hobby. The transparency and the facts are better for everyone long term, so I don't think anyone would want to intentionally hide that data.
Agreed. Great point. It helps the hobby quite a bit, helps us provide a better service. It's a win-win, but I understand, it might not immediately serve the bottom line of a marketplace to, just take an interest in the aggregation of data, but I cannot emphasize enough how important it is that people know what stuff is actually selling for. It makes it is essential to the long term. Imagine a world where we didn't have comps. What would the marketplace look like?
Oh gosh, it'd be nuts.
So we don't want that.
What would the stock market do without stock prices?
Exactly. Exactly right. Okay.
Mhm.
The Boulevard of Cards writes, in the book Thank You for Being Late by Thomas Friedman, one of his thoughts are that as technology grows and speeds up, the time we have to understand it gets less and less. Do we need to adapt this mentality into the hobby as more players enter? Meaning, as the number of ways to own or buy a card grows, do we also have to adapt how we react to them much quicker?
Man, this is so philosophical. Can you please take this one?
Yeah, I love this question. It's one of my this was like a little essay question I would get on a test or something. I'd be like, oh, I like this. Let's see.
Yes, I know.
What
That's why I'm immediately giving it to you.
uh I think that this is I'm not worried about this at all. And I think that the friction in response time to technological innovation is a virtue, not a vice, and that we should not speed ourselves up to try and fix something that isn't broken, to use one trite statement. And here I'll use another one as well. No need to reinvent the wheel. So if there is new technologies competing for us, then we should let them earn our interest. I don't think we need there. You can definitely be too open-minded. It was a funny quote that I sent to Josh earlier this week. You can be so empty. Don't be so empty-minded that your brain falls out. I think that's a good way to think about it. It's good to be open-minded. Obviously, it's good to consider a number of points of view, but don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out. So that's my take on that question. We have things that work very, very well. So if we're going to deviate from them, it's like the great philosopher Edmund Burke is his best contribution to philosophy is the idea that if you're going to change something, make damn well sure that you know all the costs to changing it and that you're upgrading to something better. If you're not sure of that, maybe you shouldn't change. That would be my philosophy here. Okay. Lefko Cards. What do you check each day to get a sense of the market? What is a productive way to catch up? I don't know. What would you use for this?
Oh man, if only we had some sort of product that we built just for this. That we just I told you, Chris, I was like, what do you think Steve Jobs did? What do you think the first device that he used to grab was when he woke up in the morning? Was it his Android tablet, his Samsung remote to turn on his TV, or maybe his Apple device? That's
I
the
don't know.
answer.
Probably Apple. Probably Apple. But also
Is he like trolling right now?
left who
Lefko.
Lefko is on fire in hour one.
He
I
wants
just
us,
get so many
he
questions
wants
to
us
go
to,
through, but like his comments are god damn, it's hard to keep a straight face. But if we take it how do you get a sense of the market? Card ladder is a big part of that. Card ladder is a sense of the market. Also Instagram, right? Instagram group chats, talking to people. What's people's energy like? Listening to sports analysis. I think listening to podcasts is underrated and underutilized in the hobby. I think there's a lot of great sports knowledge out there, especially if you like home in on local teams and stuff like that. So there's lots of ways, to keep your finger on the pulse of stuff.
Yeah, James caught that. I self-compared myself to Steve Jobs there. Well done. If I don't compare myself to LeBron or Steve Jobs in a 2-hour show, you should be worried.
That's good. Steve Wobbs? Maybe that's you. Wash? Okay. Good question. I like the question because it is always important to be thinking about what am I not seeing? What are other people doing that I'm not doing? What am I missing out on? FOMO type of question. All right. James writes in 2 all-star questions from James. Will there be a market boost due to stimulus check and tax refund double whammy happening here soon? And Dormant Stash had a similar question. He said, do you think we will see an increase in sales over the next few weeks? Many will be receiving stimulus checks soon, which means they will have disposable income. Now that the hobby is getting more mainstream attention, what are your thoughts that we see another surge of people coming into the hobby?
I think that's very astute observation. I mean, it's less about like the actual stimulus check, like the amount that it is that's coming into the hobby, and more so of like the fact that people are getting these checks because they're, stuck at home and they're seeing more articles about sports cards, and we're getting closer to the NBA playoffs, and the hype is growing on all these different platforms that are popping up. The infrastructure is growing. Like, it's just kind of all of these things together, and then throw in the fact that a bunch of people are getting more money. Yeah, it makes total sense. That's kind of a just like more fuel to the fire for all these different factors of why the hobby keeps growing. And we're going through this right now where it's like a little bit of a up, a little bit of a down, and you're seeing this in the nightly sales. And then right now we're in a little bit of the down just because of the extreme focus and pressure we put on that certain category of GOAT type cards in high population. And so now that's like softening a little bit, going back, we're hitting a little bit of a lull. We had the All-Star break. We've got no football, no baseball, hockey is on a break. So we'll see this tick back up in the next few weeks.
Great points. So I just quickly did a little math, and then I had to check it on a calculator because I don't know. I shouldn't, but I did. If 100,000 people spend $600 of a stimulus check in the hobby, that will contribute to 60 million extra dollars going into the hobby. 60 million, right? Is 60 million a lot? Yes. From the point of view of, we usually see around 2 to 3 million eBay sales per night. No, from the point of view of Golden Auctions just did over 45 million in one weekend. Does 60 million, and that's a pretty generous number, assuming 100,000 people are going to spend $600 of stimulus money that otherwise wouldn't be spent on the hobby. There's two sides to it. It is a lot of money. Undeniably, it will. But by the same token, we just saw that much money. We saw 3/4 that much amount of money get spent in one weekend with Golden. Do you have any thoughts about that? Like, let's say it's put 60 million into the hobby. Does it move the needle?
I mean, it moves the needle, but yeah, like I was saying, it's more so like kind of all these factors combined. I don't think it's fun to like fantasize that everyone's getting these stimulus checks, and like because of that the hobby's going to grow. It's just kind of like a fun, easy thing to point to that says like, yes, that's tangible money coming into the hobby, versus trying to understand all the factors and trying to put numbers to something that's intangible.
Definitely. Card Shop Dad says, what's your card fantasy? Finding a grail at a garage sale? Selling your collection for a life-altering amount? Grading turnaround times measured in days, not months? Or something else? What is your card fantasy?
I mean, of those two, it's definitely grading times. I guess I'm just not much of a fantasizer. Like, I'm always like, yeah, the odds of that, just not enough. Like, I don't even care to chase that scenario of finding a mantle at a garage sale. I've never been interested in the get rich quick or the, winning the lotto ticket kind of scenario. Like, I'm too mathematical about it. It just doesn't make any sense. I would love if PSA took days instead of months. That'd be fantastic. I remember those days fondly, and I took it for granted. Think about it now, but like I used to grade stuff with PSA, get it back the day that I'm supposed to get it back, sell it for 10 times what I paid. Man, those were the days.
Okay. Fair. I don't really, I'm in the same boat as you. I don't have many complaints as well. I think I kind of like the way things are going right now. Wouldn't change too much, to be honest. Obviously, it would be nice if more cards were in my budget, but by the same token, just makes it more challenging and more rewarding when they're not. So, all right.
Plus, the stuff that we've graded over the years and collected has gone up so much that, like, who are we to complain?
Gotcha. Just go ahead. Yeah. Yep. Well said. All right. 13 Publius 13 says, with the changes coming at Golden and so forth, how far away are we from meaningful changes in fees associated with buying and selling? As far as investments go, today's customary fees kill your net margins. So, and fees are high right now. So, like eBay fees are high. Normally in a space like this, tacit collusion, eventually leads to undercutting and creates a race to the bottom. True. Or some others might call that efficiency, but I like tacit collusion as a description as well. Would you make an even money bet that a year from now transaction costs decrease by 20%? So that would be like taking eBay's 10% fee, and then it would be 8%. So do you think we're going to see a decrease in transaction fees within a year?
I do. Because we've already seen eBay do that with shoes, where they cut the fees on selling sneakers because they were trying to compete with StockX. So like we know that that's in their cards to do that. And also I think there's going to end up being a race towards collecting the actual assets. You're seeing that with these companies pop up and creating vaults. There's a race to actually like hold the assets in their own possession. And the best way to do that is to lower your fees. Like if you have the lowest fees, you're going to get sent the most inventory to your vault. Therefore, you'll control the most assets. Therefore, you can lend the most against it. You kind of have like control of the market. So I would say yes.
Makes sense. Long Island Sports Cards actually just says eBay just raised their seller fee by 0.2% in the spring seller update. So we're trending in the other direction right now. Got it.
Whenever I start talking about like finances and markets, you should just like run.
No, I think the spirit of the question is the right one. Marketplaces are going to have to compete against each other a little bit now. And one of the ways to compete for business is fees. So, right, 13 Publius 13 points out PWCC has a special on vault intake right now.
Yeah, because they make more money by holding the assets than they do on the fees in this early part of the game.
Definitely. Chrissy Buckets points out the Facebook marketplace is where it's at. Okay, so this is a really interesting point, right? Because Facebook and Instagram and social media, I have been facilitating a ton of card deals for years now, definitely, since I came back in 2016. That's been a real legit thing. eBay has not done anything. It hasn't pushed eBay off of their position at all. And I would be amazed if a platform could rival the marketplace, the frequency of transactions that happen on Facebook, Instagram, and other social media. So I don't know. Maybe things aren't going to change that much. Airy3 says, compare from 1996 to 2003, the whole era, 1996 through 2003. Compare Topps Chrome versus Topps Finest. For example, design appeal, rarity, box price.
I mean, Finest is probably more rare because, it wasn't as popular, so they didn't print as much, and there's less demand for it. Rare design. I mean, I'm kind of just like thinking about 96 and 2003 because those are the easiest ones for me to picture. I think the years in between that are kind of like the lost years in the hobby, honestly. Like those early 2000s with like bad rookie classes and stuff, and like I can't even picture some of those years. Like 2003, Finest is my favorite design, like almost of any card, and I like 96 Finest better than Topps Chrome. Call me crazy, but like I love the Kobe design where he's ripping through the wall or whatever. I love 96 Finest. I thought it was more unique, but I do like the Topps Chrome in-game photos of 96 and 2003, so I do like that aspect of it. I don't know, it's a tough question. I guess it's kind of more like personal preference, but like, I like Finest in terms of the rarity and the design. What was the third, like the price points? Is that the question?
The other part was, box prices or box and pack prices.
Yeah. I don't know. I love Finest, man. I'm on a big Finest kick right now. Like I've just bought a huge Calvin Johnson Finest rookie. I like it. I don't know why. Like something about. I think I like it because everyone else likes Topps Chrome. I just like doing a little bit different thing, and I like Optic over Prism in a lot of cases. And I know we spent the whole first hour talking about how you should like the main brands, but here I am saying to it's like you like a different brand, but you don't want to get too far. You don't want to go you don't want to go all the way to hoops, right? Like you draw the line of like stay a little bit close to the sun, but
What do you mean? My LaMelo Hoops raw card is worth $200.
well, it was for a day there. Yeah.
Yeah, the chat loves this question. I love this question as well. I'm with you. I prefer Finest, but it's not a landslide. But a couple of things I like about Finest. Number one, 96 Finest is tiered. So you have the gold, and for Kobe you have gold and you have bronze, and you have refractor and base. So the tiering is a nice component to it because there's like a higher end card and a lower end one, obviously. The thing I don't like about 96 Finest is the peel.
Yeah.
Peel annoys me these days. It's very difficult to track and separate no peel versus peel, so that annoys the hell out of me, and it just makes it tougher to price stuff. So on the peel, no peel, Topps Chrome gets the nod, but on the tiering, Finest gets the nod. I also think aesthetically, 96 Finest is one of the most beautiful sets, and whether it's the Iverson rookie, the Kobe rookie, they look so cool. So give the nod to 96 Finest a little bit, but not taking away the iconic nature of the 96 Chrome refractor, the simplicity, base, and refractor. That's it. That's very desirable. And we should acknowledge that one of those cards, a 96 Kobe Chrome refractor, just sold for almost $2 million. So the market has spoken as well. On 97, 98, Finest wins in a landslide. 97, 98 is an amazing year of Finest. You have 3 tiers. For Michael Jordan, you have 2 of my favorite Jordan parallels ever. You have the gold embossed refractor out of 74, which I have one of those. And then you have the silver embossed refractor, which is out of 263, I think. And I used to have one of those, but I don't anymore. Love those 2 cards. Beautiful cards. Awesome looking cards. And those particular, the out of 74 never had a peel. So you don't have to worry about the coating or a peel on that card. No coating, no protective coating. So 97, 98 is amazing. Whereas 97, 98 Chrome just followed the path of 96, 97, base and refractor. There are some cool inserts in 97, 98 Chrome, to be sure. But 97, 98 Finest with those super crazy parallels. It's so funny. Like the Gold Embossed refractor has every single manufacturing technology from the 90s pretty much. It's embossed, it's die cut, it's atomic refractor finish, it's gold. But
I think that they're at that time they were probably thinking like Chrome is kind of like our flagship. Let's not take risks, but Finest, let's just go for it. Let's try it all.
Yeah. Yep. And so those are only 2 years I really am knowledgeable of. But from those 2 years, I definitely like Finest better.
My fondest memory as a kid opening packs, I didn't open much, but I did open 98, 99 Finest, and I opened a hobby box of 98, 99 Finest, and it's like a big nostalgia moment opening that box. I remember opening it and pulling a Vince Carter base.
Wow.
With the peel, and yeah, it's just like I just liked it. I like Finest. I just always thought they like pushed the boundaries a little bit more. Like I was saying, like they just weren't as safe. They pushed it a little bit further, and I liked it.
Cool. Lots of good questions this week, guys. Definitely appreciate the question.
Talk about that. Come on, man. You berated the chat last week, and now it's time to.
I don't want to lull them into a sense of complacency again. But good questions this week. We appreciate them. All right. And so many more here. So Mr. LAGN asks, have you guys used Dibs? Thoughts? It seems to make more sense than other fractional companies.
I do not have an iPhone. What's your excuse?
Well, I haven't used it, but I've looked into it. I've heard some things about it. Time is at a premium for me, right? So I'm not, and I don't care to own a sliver of a card or a fraction of a card. It's just not my style. So, but I know a couple things that are really interesting. Number one is that cards on Dibs are trading at share prices that if you aggregated them into a market cap are way more than the comps for the same card on eBay. That's really interesting. It shows that there's a big premium built in to to trading shares, to day trading. People will pay extra money for the ability to day trade cards. That's a huge inefficiency. So, true. The listeners' question graph is going to look like a middle finger after this week. So look, one thing I understand about dibs is that if you own a majority of the shares of a card, I think, God, don't quote me on this. I'm reciting things I heard secondhand on Clubhouse. But if you own the majority of shares of a card, you can force a buyout of the rest of the shares. So that's going to drive up prices on shares as well, because people are going to be holding shares thinking that somebody's going to acquire a majority and then force a buyout. So there's two things that are causing cards to trade at higher values than they're currently trading on eBay. And as if we needed anything else to push up the value of cards even further, now we have this. Some of the perks of dibs, it's a always live marketplace, so people enjoy that aspect of it. And it's focused on cards that are getting fractionalized at lower cost points. So that's the extent of my knowledge on dibs. I just find the market aspect of it, the fact that the cards are trading for more than they're worth on eBay, is really funny to me.
Funny or dangerous? I'll leave that there. Yeah, this topic has come up this week to me. Like, how come you're not looking at Top Shot? How come you're not looking at dibs? How come you're not looking into this and that? And maybe people don't like my opinion on it, but like, I don't care about any of that stuff. And that's just kind of my opinion. Like, I just don't care. I don't care about fractional ownership of cards. I don't care about Top Shot. Those things don't interest me. I like collecting sports cards. And that's why I made that story post. It wasn't about like me telling you how to invest your money. It's not me giving you advice on like what I think you should be doing or this and that. It's just my opinion on what I like. And that's kind of like why I got into this community in the first place. It's why I'm so involved, because there's other people that like what I like, and I just like collecting sports cards. It's not much more complicated than that. I like mail days. I like finding rare cards, and I like designs, and I like purchasing them. I like holding them. I like getting them in the mail, looking at them in my lights. And so I don't know. It's just there's just so many things that I have to like. People want me to look into and understand, and I just don't care. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care about fractional ownership of cards at all. I have no interest in it. If I did, I would just be on Robinhood buying stocks. Like, that's the same thing.
Card Collecting 82 says he does believe you. He thinks you are the Top Shot whale.
I mean, my
Are you the Steve Jobs of Top Shot?
When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is check my Top Shot portfolio. And everyone else, can't you just like look my portfolio up, or is it like?
Yes,
I guess I could make it.
I could check it for you.
I can make a bogus name and I could hide myself on it. But no, I've said this a million times, and it's always been I collect what I like. I buy what I like. This life is short. I don't really care to try to maximize my dollar on every single purchase. I'm more happy by buying things I like.
All right. A bubblegum pack a day, this is the only other question on this topic, says talk about NFT within the card space. I have a take on this. Do you want to say anything on this? Oh, okay. Or is it bathroom break time while I get my take going? All right. Let me give my take on this. NFTs within the card space. All right. What are the things that people like about Top Shot? The things that people like about Top Shot, it has a frictionless marketplace, or relatively frictionless marketplace, very smooth, very easy to push buy and sell, and things happen instantly, except for when they're shutting down their marketplace sometimes, which happens. People like that. People like the beautiful user interface and the ease of using it. They really enjoy that ability as well, just being able to use, transact very smoothly. It's just a great user interface and way to do things. And then 3, they like to have this digital store of value where you can make meaningful moves, you can prospect on players, it is in some cases, in some respects, a stock market for athletes. So people like those 3 things: stock market for athletes, smooth, frictionless marketplace, and a great user interface. The thing that they don't like to the same extent is the clips themselves. The video clips, the moments, that the collectability of those is the weakness in this equation. But it doesn't matter, because right now Top Shot has a monopoly on those three things that I just laid out, the three advantages that it has. But what that means is that there's a huge room to improve on that fourth metric. And the way to improve it is, instead of having moments or video clips that people don't really quite understand if these are collectible or not, if they're limited or not, people are very worried about this. What happens if the site goes down? Your whole collection goes away. You don't have any control. Right?
I never thought of it that way.
People are very worried about that. Okay? But so there's a way to solve this. The way to solve it is, instead of tokenizing things that are already digital, such as like digital art and moments, which is fine, nothing against people who do that, but instead of tokenizing digital things, tokenize physical things, tokenize physical sports cards, and then you can still have the other three. You can still have the frictionless marketplace. You can still have it being your stock market for athletes. You can still have ease of transacting. But now it's sports cards that are tokenized. Sports cards are on the blockchain. Physical items, physical art. If it's not cards, physical art, physical memorabilia. Tokenize things that already have intrinsic inherent value. And now you've upped the game one more step from where Top Shot currently is. You fix the one flaw that Top Shot currently has, which is that the actual thing being tokenized could evaporate at any time, either by the site going down or by the NBA pulling the license. What if the NBA says, we don't like the way this feels, we're going to stop licensing clips? There's a lot of things that could go awry very quickly in terms of those items. So some thoughts there that I've been developing. That is the next frontier of NFTs, I think, is actually tokenizing things that have a lot of intrinsic value in the physical world. And you know what's funny? Panini tried to do this a long time ago. They already made blockchain cards. They already saw the future on this, but the execution and the timing just weren't right yet. We also see pieces of this in PWCC Vault, right? That the idea behind that vault is similar to this, but it's not as frictionless. And it's not on the blockchain. There will be a unity, I think, of all these things. Fractional companies are getting at, Dibs is getting at, Collectible, Rally with Otis. They're all getting at this. So anyway, wanted to get that Top Shot take off. Thank you for the question, a bubblegum back in it.
That's the first time I've heard a take on, what if they get hacked? Someone steals all the Top Shots, or they hold them hostage and you don't have them anymore. Look, I just got rid of all your Top Shots. I just did it. Just like that. It's gone. Go look in here. I took away your login. It's gone. What would happen in that case? Someone's going to have to break into my bank and somehow get into my vault and physically remove, that's the only way you're going to steal my cards. This digital way is a little bit easier to, someone's going to at me and ping me and be like, actually, on the blockchain, it's actually much more secure because of the, blockchain, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be like, whatever. It's still a clip on still zeros and ones on a screen.
Listen to this. Okay. Can you imagine losing a fortune of millions because you forgot your password? If that thought left you with a sour taste in your mouth, wait till you hear the story of Stephen Thomas, a German-born programmer in San Francisco. He forgot the password to almost $220 million worth of Bitcoin. A decade ago, Thomas was given 7,002 Bitcoins. Back then, their value was merely a few dollars. Now they're worth $220 million. But the password that would give him access is lost. And
oh my God.
I read that in a different story, not this story. Oh, here we go. Thomas had written the password on a piece of paper which is misplaced. He has 10 attempts to guess the password, and he already has used 8 attempts. After 2 more failed attempts, the password will encrypt itself, making the wallet impossible to access.
Oh my God, that's scary.
I would hire a hypnotist to try and get into my deep psyche, to try to be because
like the mentalist.
Yeah, I would hire someone to I would spend so much money trying to get someone to pull it out of my subconscious.
That's insane, man. He's going through some serious. Have you seen Parks and Rec? Parks and Recreation?
You haven't watched Parks and Rec? Oh, I've watched a bit of it.
When this topic comes up, I think of Ron Swanson because he's just like he literally like buries gold in his backyard and he hates computers, and I just think like the opposite extreme of NFT is Ron Swanson. It's like everything has to be physical. I want my value stored underground at my house, in my property. I want everything that I can physically hold and touch as my own personal value. And there's some like beauty in that, right? Like as a human living in the real space, like I'd like to know where my value is actually stored. It makes me a little bit nervous to know that like I have all this money on my computer. I mean, says the guy where, money's stored in banks online and stuff. All the transactions through PayPal are digital. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next question here. This is a longer one from XV661. In the next few months, several Bitcoin kids have vowed to cause a major shortage of hot sports card products. They recently implemented this strategy with NFL products, which was never scarce until very recently. They use bots to cause this shortage of inventory. They are not hiding it anymore. Is this a concern? I work for a company that everyone in the industry has a love-hate relationship with. I have a meeting with several general managers in the West Coast region to discuss the cause and effects of this situation soon. So the question is it a concern that Bitcoin kids are using bots to buy massive amounts of inventory of cards,
Yes,
especially product?
yes, it's a massive concern, and the companies selling the inventory need to do something about it. Like, don't ship 20,000 bucks. I mean, those bots are actually like creating fake addresses and stuff. That's the issue. Because the simple solution is like, well, don't ship 2,000 boxes to one address. But those guys are actually like creating multiple addresses through these bots and stuff, which is scary. I mean, it seems like these bot creators and these kids and whatever, these groups are smarter than the engineers at the companies selling the stuff. And honestly, like some of those companies don't really care. They get paid either way. It is frightening, but we have that issue. I don't know like the full situation with like distributors, so I'm not gonna like pretend to know how that works. But I've heard that like distributors will just like hold the inventory because like they know it's more valuable than to just like keep it than sell it. And so like there's a lot of that going on. So this kind of just magnifies it, where very little product is in the hand, or a lot of product is in the hands of very little people. It's scary. It's like a small microcosm of our society where very few people own most of the wealth.
Yeah. Good thoughts on that. Thank you for the question too. This question comes from RV Sports Cards. When you decide you want a condition-sensitive card, do you find it easier to buy one in not-so-great condition with the intent to upgrade it later? Or do you find it better to just wait and buy a big premium when a good condition one pops up?
I like to wait. I know that I get what the question is, and I get the intent behind it, but I've never been satisfied by holding the lower condition one when I know I want the higher condition one. I've always been more satisfied when I waited and I got the one I really wanted. You know what I mean? This isn't just for condition, but it's just like cards in general. You try to buy that thing that like holds you over until you get the one you really want. That scenario just never has made me happy. And I'm trying to think, but like when I do get the one when I upgrade and I sell the other one, it's okay. I've just always been more satisfied waiting out, and like you did with a Jordan, you didn't buy a Legacy that was not the one you wanted and held yourself over until you got the one you really wanted. You just waited, and now that you got it, I would imagine you're more satisfied.
Yep. Delayed gratification matters, and it works, but it's not easy, or else everybody would just do it. Card Shop Dad says, I asked this on Josh's AMA the other night. If Nat let you sweep,
that was the best question. That was the best question.
Yeah, okay, nice. If Nat let you market sweep his collection, what 3 cards are you grabbing? What 3 wax boxes are you grabbing?
It's such a fun question because with his collection, you like almost get to choose whatever you want. So and I like the grocery sweep analogy because you ever watch those shows as a kid, you're like, they used to have one where you get a basket, and you get to pick as many toys as you want at the toy store, you know, like they used to have TV shows like that. And you're like, I would do so much better than those guys because I'd go straight for the best stuff. My answer was the Jordan Green PMG, which might shock some people. I just think that card is just. I'm almost upset at myself for not going after that Heritage one for 900K because I feel like I could have done some stuff to get it. That card is just like the epitome of sports cards to me, and it's not my favorite player, but you know, it's like it's hard to even wrap my head around what that card is, and you obviously know. And then the 9.5, 99 RPA LeBron, I would love to have a 9.5, and then the penny credentials out of 4. It's just like my kind of like my 3 pillars of collecting. 3 best cards, man. It's exciting just thinking about the possibility of owning those 3. So, Nat, very jealous that you own all 3 of those.
Right on. So, for those who don't know about this, Nat has a Flickr page, right?
Oh my God, you just broke the internet.
Talk about the Flickr page a little bit.
I found this Flickr page. I mean, I knew Nat for a few years now, but I've known about this Flickr page, and I've sort of like I use his Flickr page to describe the hobby to non-hobbyists. Like I try to show. It's a really good way to show like all the different things that the hobby has to offer in terms of like super rare cards, volume of different, you know, like collecting a lot of different cards, grading. He's got all different grades, organization, which I like in the hobby. You know, he's got stuff organized by album, by sets, players. Like you could like explain the whole hobby to someone on his Flickr page. You could show them like what cards are super expensive and why. You show them like the beauty of the cards, obviously. It's just incredible, and he's got it all broken down so nice. Look at that shit, dude. He's had this stuff for so long that like, if you went to his Flickr page, if you just like came into the hobby in the last year and you've seen all the crazy prices of everything and that's what you know, and you go to Nat's Flickr, you're like, holy shit, he has, you know, all of this stuff, everything that's sold for 200 grand recently. He has all of it. He's got 101 masterpieces.
This is just his Jordan folder.
Yeah, go to his like exquisite one. He's got like 3 LeBron RPAs, and it's like he's got a 9.5 with that Jordan at a. It's like what the fuck? Yeah, go to his LeBron James. He has a 9.5 of like every rookie. Go to his RPA 9.5. I want to see that one. The one that I said I want.
How far do I have to scroll? Probably pretty far.
There's a 9.5 gold Bowman. No big deal.
Love this
There-
guy, by the way.
There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
This is one on 99, 9.5 gold RPA.
Insane. 210 subs.
Yeah. Yep. True that. Look, Josh even knows the subgrade distribution on this card.
When I first got into cards in 2016, there were 2 Flickr accounts, Nat and then my buddy Nate, who had a really nice LeBron James Flickr account. And those were kind of like my roadmaps for like what the hobby is and what exists out there, and like how to like give yourself like some guidance and give yourself a list of like what to go after. And it's good to like give yourself goals based on what others have accomplished. I think that's important. Like give yourself a roadmap. And no, there's no better Flickr than Nat's to do so. I mean, obviously like a lot of that's kind of like at this point impossible. Like nobody can just like rebuild what he's built, you know, because not even just like monetarily. I don't think Jeff Bezos could even come close to this if he wanted to. That's kind of the impressive part about it. It's just like the stuff is so rare. It's not about money. Not even a little bit. Like I'm very confident in saying Jeff Bezos, if he tried his very hardest, couldn't get this collection in 5 years.
Agreed. Agreed. And what's amazing about this collection too is that this is not, I don't know, my perception is that this is not an investment or a fund. This is a freaking museum. There is a huge difference between those two things.
And dude, like this is sorry to jump in again because I've been blabbing, but like
No, I love it. I'm just
Um,
showing his cards as you explain why this is one of the best things in the hobby ever.
no, yeah, like I mean, I've been bothered by like the whole like, fractional and stock investment talk. If you just want to like step back and remember why we're doing this and why this all started, Nat's Flickr. Just start scrolling, man. Just go. It's just ridiculous. Like every card, it's got all the best cards that have ever been created by all the best designers, all the best companies, the history behind it, the physicalness of seeing it. It's just like I'm just like it's insane. I'm running. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, this is something just worth just setting aside an hour or two, and just
And
you need more than that, honestly. But
if you talk to Nat about this, like you talk to him, you just like sit down and have a beer with him, and you're like, just talk to me about your collection. He could just talk to you about it forever because it's like how much time and effort he's put into it, how many hours on eBay, and how many years and how much money he's spent, and it's like see these like big time golden auctions, and you see all the money flowing in. You see people that have been in it for 3 months talking about how they've found their favorite thing of all time. Just imagine someone that's been doing it for 15 years, spending a good portion of their life's earnings hunting, searching, scratching and clawing their way to what he has, and it's just like you just can't quite comprehend it. You can't like explain it through a golden auction where everything sells for $1 million. Like it's just
yeah, because the time horizon isn't big enough.
exactly.
It doesn't give you enough scope to just. There's one auction that sold for 40 million. This is a collection. Is this collection worth over $1 billion? I don't know.
When I used to show people this Flickr like 3 years ago, like people at work and stuff, when I was trying to explain what the hobby is, they're like, how much is this worth? And I used to say like, I used to tell them like 50 million, 100 million. And that was like 3 years ago. So like, yeah, I don't know. It's impossible to put a number on it. Let's just say
Yeah, go ahead.
this has been his best financial investment of his life. And he's made several good choices.
He's done many of them. Yeah. This is a photo album from Nat of the National Card Show in 2013. All right. That's 8 nationals ago. This guy's been at it for a long time. And time horizon is so important to me. There's somebody who started in 2013. I'm not saying Nat did. There's somebody who started in 2013 and now they are where they are 8 years later. There's other people who are starting today and in 2029 are going to look back and be very glad they started enjoying this amazing hobby.
And this is, oh man, look at that. A lot of this stuff, Jesus.
Is there prices on it?
No.
That would have been cool.
$5,000 for
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat that were around in 2013 too. Like it's kind of wild to think about, just the short 8 years ago, but things have changed so much in the last couple of years that you're almost like, man, were you here 3 years ago before prices? It's like, yeah, there was lots of people here. Like a lot of us weirdos have been here for 5 years, 10 years, 15. This didn't just like sprout up in the last 2 years.
Indeed. So that's why I go back to we had some questions a little bit earlier. Technology is changing so fast. So many new platforms vying for attention. Platforms trying to change the way we hobby. Nothing needs to change. There's lots of history and knowledge that's been passed on and acquired and accumulated, and it got us to this point, didn't it? So let's just, let's not have such open minds that our brains fall out. Things have worked pretty well so far. Okay, so in light of that, I have a question too, by the way. All right, I have a question as well pertaining to that. sometimes, honestly, I look at Nat's collection and it's slightly discouraging because, like, I was just scrolling past. I saw that he had a Jordan 1997-98 Legacies Row 1 BGS 9.5 just sandwiched in between 500 other grails, not grail, 500 other amazing cards. And I'm like, I took 2 years to get a lower grade version of it, and it was a freaking milestone.
Right.
Like it's humbling. It can verge on discouraging. Do you have any words of wisdom for that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people may see our collections and feel like it's an impossible mountain to get to that point, and you're sort of like saying that you feel that way about Nats. Like there's kind of always someone, I don't want to say above you because that's I don't like that, but like there's always some collection out there that's further along than you are, or has had more time to build it, or more money, more resources, whatever the case may be, and you just kind of have to accept that. Like it's okay. Everyone kind of has their own starting point, their own level, their own point in the ladder, as it were, and so like you just kind of have to go at your own pace. And like I was like the comment I made about Jeff Bezos is true because like this stuff that's happened is not recreatable. You just like no one will ever be able to do it ever again. You gotta accept that. You gotta move on. You're not gonna be able to create the same collection that I did in 2016 today in the same time span with the same amount of money. It's impossible. Those prices are different. The rarity of it is different. They're harder to find. They're being sucked up into collections more. And I have to come to that same realization for people that started like Tim in 2003, or even the same realization of people that started in 2012. I can't recreate what they did, and people coming after me can't recreate what I did. The same may be true 5 years from now. So just go in at your own entry point. Don't like get discouraged and just kind of like create your own path. Because no matter what you do, there's going to be someone else out there that's like, man, if I would have just done what he did, and if I would have started the day he started, I'd be so much better off if I would have just done that, right?
True, and great points. And I think as well, nobody can build my PC for me either. PC is a reflection of the stuff I like, the stuff that meant a lot to me. That only I can make my PC.
Totally.
So and there's a value on that too, and a value to every card is a freaking story as well. Really
You're
does.
saying there's a chance, dude. Are you catching these subtle Dumb and Dumber quotes?
I love that.
Following it?
Good.
You've seen Dumb and Dumber, right?
Oh yeah, yes.
Okay. Multiple times.
I've definitely seen Dumb. I saw the stupid remake that they did.
Oh, terrible.
Years ago or so.
Terrible.
Yeah. Definitely not the same. Definitely not the same.
Hey, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
I'm pretty sure we had that last week, guys.
We didn't do most annoying sound in the world.
Yes, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Thanks, though, guys. That's fine.
You're welcome. Okay. Grail Chaser 77 says, what was Josh's LeBron collecting strategy?
Collecting strategy? To buy the best that I could afford at the time, all the time, for 5 straight years, and like obsess over it, and that's all I did.
Yes. Beautiful.
I spent all my money that I made through my job on it.
Thank you, Joe, by the way. Shout out to Joe. Frequent guest on Sports Cards Live with Jeremy. All right. So
I have a funny question, though, for you. I'm going to turn this back on you.
Sure.
You know how people are like, you need to diversify, and you need to spend, 30% of your income on, like, risky assets and 30% on real estate assets and blah, 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 blah. How much of your income have you spent, just like, let's say, over the last 3 years on sports cards?
Every spare dime.
Your graph is just like a big, like, blue, like, there's no slivers. It's just a blue circle.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that this is the same thing, because it's not. Because, like, we collect sports cards because, you know, it's like a lifetime. It makes life better. It's a really it's something different than an investment. But on the investment advice front, smart investment people talk about diversifying as being a hedge against risk. Extremely smart investment people say if you know something really well and you have an edge, then you should go all in on that thing. So there's levels to it. That's what I'd say.
Dude, I feel like there's like, you don't want to be that guy that admits it, that you're like, dude, I literally spend all my money on sports cards, you know? And we almost need like a witness protection program or like a Alcoholics Anonymous group of us that are like, we always read these. I used to read blowout threads all the time, and they'd be like, if you want to actually make money, you should be investing in the stock market, not, and you want to collect and have fun. And I was like, I feel like I can do both. I don't, you know, I see what you're saying, but I don't really like that. I'm gonna spend all my money on sports cards, and I did. I literally spent every extra dollar I made for 3 years on sports cards, and you know, it looks smart now, looking back, whatever. Like, okay, sure, I made a good investment, but I never thought of it that way. I just thought like, man, I really want to buy all these cards. Like, I like it. I'm having fun with it, and I can't figure out anything better to. I did have like, you know, my 401k or whatever, so like some of my money was going passively, but that's like auto deposited money that I never saw. Any money that like actually came into my account and wasn't going towards like my mortgage and like my food, it was like, yeah, that's going to sports cards.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Man, it's Blowout is an interesting place. And side note, small rant, stop bringing Blowout onto Instagram. We come to Instagram, and the reason why Instagram, part of it, has become such a vibrant hobby community is particularly because we are escaping the drama and the toxicity that can exist on Blowout. By the same token, Blowout has a lot of great research that's been done, a lot of great investigative work, a lot of great record keeping of important stuff on counterfeit cards and on trimming and on, you know, lots of different topics in the hobby. But keep Blowout on Blowout and keep Instagram. Don't bring the drama and toxicity of Blowout to Instagram. Please don't do that. And also, any advice, like Josh alluded to, on cards that comes from anybody, but especially on Blowout. I took some bad advice from Blowout as well. You know, back in 2016, I was reading it. I was becoming convinced that the whole Jordan market, you know, everyone's like, oh, all these sales are fake. This market's going to crash. You know, nothing new. But I didn't have a frame of reference, you know, and I just spent like a couple $100 on a Jordan card. So I'm like, oh crap, you know, this is terrible. I'm the dummy. I got duped. And it really made me hesitate. And there's nothing wrong with being cautious, but if I would have just trusted my gut, would have been better. Would have gone better.
Follow the collectors, man.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like weird advice, but like, if you find the people who are collecting stuff, that means there's a strong foundation and a base of people who are, you know, borderline obsessed with like collecting these items. And you can't really lose in that scenario because there's always demand from that group of people. You know, like Michael Jordan, I can say unequivocally, has the largest collector base of any player ever and will always be, because of just like how many of you fucking weirdos there are. There's so many people that are like, oh my god, where did you people come from? There's so many goddamn people that I meet that are like, yeah, I've been collecting Jordan, every insert, I've got it all, I've got 9.5s. It's like, you guys come out of the woodwork. I feel like every year, like some new dude pops up that's got a $1 million Jordan collection. It's like, that demand is always going to be there for Michael Jordan because of that.
Yeah. Also, PSA to Jordan collectors, stop being weirdos and posting weird comments on 90s b-ball cards, Jake's videos. He sends it to me every time. He says, what's wrong with Jordan collectors? You guys are annoying and weird. And I just have to take all the bullets for the whole community. So if we could just stop with that, I would appreciate it. Stop being weirdos and making weird comments on Jake's videos. I see VX in the chat. VX, we spoke to your question about bots and Bitcoin kids earlier. Check the replay, man. I will repost this video. Thanks to my buddy Kung, CL Smooth 32. The Christmas lights are gone.
What the fuck?
Yeah, yes, they are. They are gone. I took them down.
Why?
Because if something is always going year round, you don't appreciate it. So we will bring back out the decorations when it is timely to do so. I literally took them down right before the camera turned around.
I don't like that explanation. That was dumb.
Thank you.
Oh, Christina. Oh, I love when people just say exactly what they're thinking. It's just so much easier. Life is better that way.
All right.
You're welcome.
Changing the subject from Christmas lights. Grail Chaser 77 he had many questions. He sent like 10, and I took like 4 of them.
You guys are a beast.
And shout out to everybody in the chat, Vic and others who were Paper Gems, who were showing their badge of honor, which is being banned from Blowout. Congratulations.
Also, post more Dumb and Dumber quotes so I can laugh. You guys are keeping me laughing tonight. I love it.
Grail Chaser 77 wants to know, is stacking slabs the monk of card collecting?
Oh, Brett. I love Brett so much.
Yeah, Brett is awesome.
He is just, I feel like he's just like, I know what they're saying by the monk thing, but I do. I picture him being like, I have a quote, and here comes my quote. I feel that all of us need to band together and move in perfect harmony in the hobby and find our passions.
I think he's more of like the stoic philosopher of the hobby.
Okay, I like that. Chris, do you know anything about philosophers?
What?
I say, Chris, do you know anything about philosophers?
No, not that much. I don't know much about the Stoics. Marcus, I never studied the Stoics. I couldn't tell you.
That's my favorite, dude. I listened to that whole hour-and-a-half podcast. So help me. I do not listen to podcasts that long, but I listened to the whole episode with you and him, and it was just great. It's just like banter that I just enjoy. You're like, oh, there's a lot of retread topics, and you're right, but like I like to listen to it. So
yeah, it was fun. Thanks to Brett for having us and supporting Card Lab.
Until the moon. He's walking out of the restaurant and he sees the newspaper clipping of the moon. He's like, no way. We landed on the moon.
That was a pretty good Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was at the peak of his powers.
Dude, that movie was just like perfection. It's so terrible that it's just so good in every little piece of it. Even just like when he's at the very beginning, when he's like in the limo and he's like rolling the window up and his head gets stuck and he's like, it's just so good.
I need to rewatch that movie. I rewatched Ace Ventura.
Oh yeah.
Funniest scene to me happens early in the movie when he's climbing the cliff and he sees a little baby bird and he stops to feed it.
James just did one of my other favorite scenes where he's like, my hands are so cold I can't feel them, and he's like, here, take my extra pair of gloves. You've had these the whole time? He's like, yeah, we're in the Rockies. It's cold.
That's where they're riding on the motorcycle. They get stuck to each other. Yeah.
They got the snot on their noses. Or they're walking by and he's like, oh man, did you check out the buns on that one? He's like, yeah, he must work out. So tonight, I was way off. It's like Aspen, a little place I like to call Aspen. California, beautiful.
I'm going to put that movie on in the background tonight.
I thought the Rockies would be a little rockier than this. He's like, yeah, that John Denver's full of shit. Dude, that movie has like a million quotes.
Do we have that movie somewhere?
I don't think so, but we'll buy it and put it on while we're
It's the internet. You have it. It's like Top Shot. You just have it.
There you go. Can we tokenize Dumb and Dumber quotes?
All right, you ready for the pizza rant?
Let's go pizza rant.
So someone asked me in the AMA, pineapple on your pizza, and it was like a trigger for me to be like, no, you do not put pineapple on your damn pizza. It's not what pizza is. It's pizza is pizza. It's not freaking your like landscape to put on whatever the fuck you feel like and whatever topping you like. It's pizza. I'm not eating pizza to eat freaking fruit and vegetables. I'm eating it for pizza. And so the rant is just that like I have this pet peeve where people that order pizza for groups of people or for friends, they try to like show off or like get fancy, and they're like, "Oh, I usually get the mushroom with supreme," and then you order it, and you know, like half the people that are there are like, "The fuck is this? Where's the damn pepperoni? Like, I'm just here to. You said you were ordering pizza, not a damn salad on a freaking bunny food."
Josh is definitely a pizza dictator.
Oh,
He's fighting against the pizza dictators, man.
Thank you. Yes, you just said it. I'm fighting against the person who's trying to dictate what kind of pizza I like.
I don't care what kind of pizza you like, but leave me to eat my weird pizza.
Well, he's not saying you can't have it. He's saying don't order for everybody. Okay, so here's the thing. What's your favorite type of pizza?
My favorite
because you put certain ingredients on that are unusual.
Favorite type of pizza is New Haven Veggie Bomb Pizza.
Well, what do you get from Giordano's? What are the ingredients?
I get this is gonna sound so weird.
Because we have a great pizza place out here called Giordano's.
I get a pan pizza of chicken, pepperoni, spinach, and black olives.
Okay, she just proved my point that like only that one weird person sitting to your right would eat that weird thing. So you're not gonna order that for everybody.
No, I order like the 6-inch personal pizza, and then I get
exactly. Thank you. If you were ordering a bunch of pizza for a whole room full of people, what would you order?
Cheese,
and maybe like a pepperoni, maybe.
Yeah.
Boom. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I was at a party.
I would order my personal pizza to be weird.
We know you're still gonna get your freaking black olives.
I was hosting this like tech thing, and we were like speaking on this like topic of like software, and we were like, let's order pizza for everybody. And I put this other guy in charge of ordering the pizza. Big mistake. He ordered like, and this is a room full of like nerds and software guys and guys who just they just order pizza just to like get through get through the night of coding, right? We order just junky pizza. He orders like supreme mushroom, like every single pizza was just like a weird, and all the guys look at me and they're like, what the fuck is this? Where's the pepperoni and cheese? And I was like, I should have done it. I should have ordered it myself. I put this guy in charge. Freaking can't even order cheese pizzas.
Yeah, sad.
Kevin from Home Alone said it best. I just want a cheese pizza, plain with cheese. Just I want pizza. I don't want all these different things. That's my rant. It's silly, but that's just how I feel about it. And I have like
got to get it off our chest.
I have very specific like rankings of how you determine what is good pizza, and there's all these like factors of like how it is when it gets delivered, the like sauce to cheese, the sauce to cheese ratio, the reheat factor, of how it tastes the next day, the like how they cut the pizza, the crust, like is it too much breading? There's all these things where I'm like I rank pizzas and I'm done.
Josh and I should have a pizza like podcast because I'm very like iffy. Like it should be like pizza and or like pie and cards or something. Like I'm very, very like bougie with my pizza because New Haven, Connecticut has the best pizza. Period. Look,
Christina's been here all night. She has not gotten fired up like this at all yet until we started talking pizza toppings, and now she's talking about Haven. She's ready to go.
Yeah, I knew this would be a big hit in the comments. That's why I wanted to bring this topic up because I know that's like a very who doesn't like pizza, man.
Pizza is a must.
I'm gonna have to order pizza tomorrow.
Yeah.
What's your favorite pizza, Chris?
Giordano's, which is Chicago-style deep dish. And I'll take plain cheese just fine, but I'll mix it up sometimes. Sometimes I'll put pepperoni. And sometimes I'll do a meat lovers. I'll do that as well. So if I'm feeling extremely unhealthy, I'll put pepperoni, sausage, and bacon on it as well. But I can only eat 1 or 2 slices of that pizza before I feel terrible. It's just so much.
I don't think I've ever had Giordano's. Is that like a Chicago thing?
Yeah, it is. We'll do it for the National if we can find time when we're there. It's worth having at least once, I think.
Yeah, I'm more of a New York style. I was talking to James about this. That's why I was joking earlier. Say hey cards, because he messaged me about that AMA and was like, he's like, I feel like we already agree on everything, but like, don't fuck this up. What is your take on pizza? And I was like, it's got to be super plain. It's got to be New York style. And he's like, thank God. He's like, I didn't want to say this because I already like agree with a lot of things you say, but this is just like we agree on everything. We're just simpatico. And I was like, yeah.
Would have been a deal breaker.
Right.
I like New York as well. Lou Malnati's is definitely a must as well. Ranch? Do you dip pizza in ranch?
No.
No. Do you?
Yes.
Yes.
But it depends what pizza. Like, it depends what kind of pizza. If it's
Nope.
a veggie pizza, yes, you have to dip it in ranch.
Even remember, yeah, that's from Office. He's like, even bad pizza is still pretty good.
Dude, I agree with that. I thought that was an unironic observation that I was going.
What about? I have a strong opinion on this as well, but I'll let you jump in because I'm gonna go off the deep end.
All right.
Frozen pizzas, or like grocery store frozen pizzas.
Tombstone. What's the other
I
one?
knew we were best friends. The first one out of your mouth is my favorite. No, DiGiorno is crap.
Okay, because DiGiorno's thicker. You like the thinner crust.
DiGiorno's trying too hard.
Look, if I'm not gonna have fresh pizza, I want it to be like kind of crappy pizza because I don't want to get my hopes up, like going in that like I'm gonna have amazing pizza. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm gonna have thick crust pizza because that cooks the best in the oven. Like when you have
the whole philosophy of pizza.
Because I don't like crispy crust.
Okay.
Like I don't think that's a good thing. Like you need to
frozen
fold
pizza
pizza in half when you eat it, like a taco.
Okay. All right.
You know what's the best is like when you're like a few alcoholic beverages deep. It's late in the night. Frozen pizza will save that evening. Promise you.
Big time. 100% agree.
Tombstone, Totino's, Red
Totino.
Baron. Dude, Totino's is like the bottom of the pole, but like still pretty good.
I survived on Totino's when I moved to Atlanta when I was 17. I survived. They were $1 a pizza, a personal pizza, $1 a pizza. I would just have a freezer full of 20 of them.
Party pizza. It said party pizza on the box.
Yeah.
Dude, those were the best. A buck a piece? Can't beat that.
Cannot beat that. That's how I made ends meet in those early days.
It's funny.
A pizza a day.
Your humble beginnings of Totino's Pizza. Now you've graduated to Tombstone. What an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Tombstone is so good.
Tombstone is great.
One of my guilty pleasures is like the family will be away and I will make myself a Tombstone pizza and eat that whole fucking thing.
Yeah, that's the dangerous thing about a solo pizza is you can take down a whole thing if you don't. So.
Yeah, but it feels so good.
It does. It's worth it. All right, are marble cards the pineapple pizza of the hobby?
I fucking hate pineapple pizza. I don't.
Are there pizza box collectors out there? Hope not.
Solo pizza is better than a plate of food.
Yo, yes, Pizza Hut. Lefko points out. Pizza
Dude, that
Hut
was the best.
buffet. Yeah, dude, and also AR Reader, where you got points for reading books. Then you got to go to Pizza Hut. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah.
That was not
Yep.
That was a thing for me. I read books, I got points, and I got personal pan pizzas.
Dude, the nostalgia of Pizza Hut with like, your teams went there after the season was over and you get trophies and like the buffets. Man, Pizza Hut has some massive nostalgic. That's why they brought back the old logo, because they're kicking into like the nostalgia of the 90s kids.
I don't even know if I've ever had Pizza Hut.
What?
Is that even?
Look, if I did, okay, when I was living in London, and my friends were like, let's order pizza. No, stop. And they were like, let's order pizza. And they ordered fucking Domino's pizza, and they were all like shocked that I'd never had Domino's pizza before. And I was in my early 20s.
Because you come from an area, New Haven, Connecticut,
yes.
where they have only homemade pizza shops. Exactly.
I'm gonna when I
see you
next, Josh, I'm gonna punch you in the stomach.
Right after he eats a whole Tombstone pizza.
Yeah, I'll punch you in the stomach and then I'll hand him a Tombstone pizza to make up for it.
Look at what Adam said. Christina's over here with chicken and spinach like a damn omelet and hasn't had Pizza Hut.
she skipped some important steps in the evolution of pizza.
You can't just go straight to the omelet-style pizza. You got to start with Pizza Hut and your Tombstones and your party pizzas and your Tortinos.
You don't just come in and buy a PMG green. You got to.
Also, the other layer to pizza that I don't want to get too far into, but everyone has their local pizza place that they love, and that's what's so great about pizza is there's like seriously like thousands and thousands of restaurants where like, oh dude, you haven't had fucking Jimmy and Joe's Arizona style pizza? What are you, insane? And it's like, of course I haven't had that. I don't live in Arizona. Like, well, I have, and it's the best pizza ever invented.
Yep. That happens.
It's local. It's national. It's toppings that are wrong. It's plain. Pizza's the best.
Do you eat crust? Do you eat the pizza crust?
Do, of course. And you know what I like to do? We're getting real deep. You guys are getting into the core of my being here. I like to order wings with my pizza.
All right.
I like to get extra sauce in the wings, and I'll dunk my crust in the wing sauce.
That makes complete sense.
Isn't the ranch dressing?
No, ew. God, no.
What is wing sauce? Oh, you mean like the barbecue sauce?
No, or like the buffalo sauce.
Okay. I thought you meant like the dipping sauce that comes with wings. Okay.
No. Nope. It's got to be like the excess of the wing sauce.
Oh, we might have a real divide here. I've seen 2 votes in the chat for folding the pizza to eat it.
Ooh.
Yes, you fold the pizza.
Okay, so Christine folds.
Mr. Chicago style here can't fold his pizza, so what are you going to do? You get a fork? You fork it?
I've never been known to fold. No. You don't have to fork it either.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't have to
Yeah,
fork
when
it.
you eat Chicago pizza, and it's not really pizza, it's quiche.
You get 2
you
hands
have to get
going.
a fork.
You can get 2 hands going. One hand here, other hand here. You can get 2 hands going.
No, you got.
I'm not a folder. If it's folding, then it's too thin. That's too New York. It needs to be a little bit medium-ish.
No.
This could be a sticking point for James.
I like it paper thin, and you gotta fold it.
Oh my gosh! Why don't you just live in New York?
Just picture my head just going to the plate.
Dude, it's like talking about the peel or no peel. It's great.
You're right.
Look at the chat, dude. This is like the liveliest. I knew it. I knew this pizza thing would just take off in the chat because, like, who doesn't eat pizza and has an opinion about it, you know?
We should have led with this topic. We need culinary topics from now on.
This is the all-encompassing. This is like an all-in-one printer. This show, we've got a little bit of facts, got a little bit of scanning, got a little bit of the meat and potatoes with just the regular printing. Got a little bit all-in-one here. We are the HP of the sports card content.
Good. Now, let me clarify. I don't have anything against the fork and the knife. I don't have anything against it. I've done it. if I don't need to get if I'm in a setting where I can't get my hands dirty, or nothing against it.
Underrated pizza. I love it. There's like a million directions you can take it. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Pizza inserts. Prism pizza 101. Oh my gosh.
Good. We touched on a lot of pizza canon.
If there's not a lot of like pizza posts tomorrow, I'm gonna be very disappointed in all of you. Just like Chris was disappointed in the questions last week. If there's not a bunch of pizza content tomorrow, you guys done fucked up.
Are you kidding? People are probably trying to find pizza places that are open right now because of conversation.
Damn, that's making.
See?
We have Frozens.
I think so.
You just hit another topic. Pizza is the most available food in the world. You can get it at night. You can get it at 2 a.m. You can get it in the middle of the day. It's good for reheat for breakfast.
Okay, reheat or cold pizza?
Ooh, you know what? I like a good cold pizza.
Yeah, especially in the morning.
Yeah.
Like the day after you order pizza, like a slice of cold pizza for breakfast is pretty fire.
You can do either or. I think you can do either or.
I like to do the toaster oven.
Oh, dude, toaster oven is low key. You have the pizza oven itself. There's specifically a pizza oven for reheating and cooking cold pizzas.
Ooh, I don't have one of those. I just have like a regular, like toast oven thing.
I think we just got an idea.
We're gonna send Josh a pizza
We need
oven.
to send Josh a pizza oven.
One of my buddies, he like legit built in his backyard like a real pizza oven. Like the bubble pizzas. Like the real kind of thing. The brick, yes, thank you. Like the brick oven style. I went over there and he made me one. And I was just like,
I gotta go to bed. Christina's gonna. I'll be right back.
No, look. Brick style, like brick oven, like pizza is the best. That's what New Haven pizza is. It's all brick style pizza. Like, yeah.
do you like the big bubbles on the pizza?
Yeah, and like if pizza isn't like kind of crispy, well done, then it's not really cooked.
Then you don't like Chicago then?
I mean, I'll eat it, but I don't consider that pizza. I literally consider that quiche.
Yeah, it's like there's like big giant tomatoes in it. It's like barely a pizza.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You have to be able to pick it up, I feel like is like the number one thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not a fork and knife on the pizza. Yeah, Chris comes back with pizza.
Adam says fuck the bubbles. Dang.
Yeah, well, Adam,
You're not doing brick oven pizza if there's not bubbles.
Yeah.
I can't keep this show going, so you're gonna have to take over.
Okay, and then brick oven pizza, you get like the charcoal under your nails when you eat it.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's how you know you've just had good pizza.
Oh, there's so many different styles of pizza too. There's so many things. There's so many layers to this. Look, everyone's like naming their favorite pizza joint, and it's like, sure, I believe you. It probably is the best.
Look, I'm just gonna say it. Like New Haven literally has a documentary called Pizza: A Love Story, and
Dang.
people come to New Haven, Connecticut, and wait 3 hours in line to eat at pizza places.
Is it brick oven style? What's
Yep.
the style?
It's all brick
Dang.
oven. This is officially the promo for the first episode of Chris and Josh Pizza and Cards podcast show.
Gary definitely likes New York style pizza. I'll just take a wild guess at that one. Okay, Chris.
Collectibles, Mystic Pizza in Connecticut. Chris actually likes Mystic Pizza. And in Connecticut, Mystic Pizza is a frozen pizza as well. So you can get it anytime. Yeah.
Look at you.
James, the best topping is pepperoni. It's not even close.
Pepperoni.
You get one topping. Everyone in the chat? You get one topping. What is it? One topping. I don't want to hear about Supreme. I don't want to hear about meat lovers. You get one.
Yeah, pepperoni. Definitely.
I would probably just do cheese.
Well,
Nope, that's not a topping.
Cheese is a topping.
Pizza rolls. I have pizza rolls in my freezer right now.
I just checked the freezer.
Yeah, someone in the chat was like, Chris is going to come back with a frozen pizza.
I did check.
Sausage? All right, let's go.
Freaking hungry for pizza right now.
All right. We got one sausage, pepperoni. Mine's pepperoni.
Mystic Pizza is real, by the way. Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it is good. We only had like once or twice.
Pineapple. How do you boot people? I always forget.
You can't. I have to boot people.
He said pineapple, that guy.
I can't boot him because he sent my favorite question. He said, "Who would Fraser PC?"
Dude, someone that likes pineapple would like Frasier. You office people like pepperoni, I know.
Oh, all right. Let's get some votes going here. I mean, it's going to be pepperoni and landslide. Pepperoni, margarita pizza, chicken, barbecue chicken. Now we're getting a little, going a little far afield. Fennel sausage.
Ooh,
That's a good
fanook.
call.
Yeah, I like it.
How do you say that?
Fanook. It's Napolitan for fennel.
Yeah, pepperoni. Pepperoni wins by a landslide. Josh prefers his pizza non-fungible. Rim shot, please. Canadian bacon. Sardines? Is that serious? It might be. Is that serious? Do people put sardines on pizza? Or am I being trolled here?
No, people put sardines on pizza. And people in Connecticut, it's like a specialty white clam pizza. It's so gross looking.
Oh,
but
I
people-
accidentally had some of that once. What's
Yeah.
that place that's by your house?
My house?
Or by where I used to live?
Bar?
No. It's over there, not in downtown New Haven.
Modern.
Modern.
That's my favorite
I
pizza
had
place.
clam pizza from Modern. It was not good.
Modern's Veggie Bomb is the bomb.
Oof.
Yeah.
Clam.
Veggie.
Veggie bomb.
Veggie Bomb. It's like all the vegetables you can't see. It looks like a salad. You can't see the crust. Like it's all just veggies. It's so good.
Dude.
And it's all crispy. So all the veggies are like roasted, like we talked about, Josh, and like bubbly and like crispy. So it's like super yummy.
Okay. 13 Publius says he was able to order Domino's at this hour, and then he said it's available like Face Prism. Is Domino's available at this hour? I really need I got so hungry. This is the most hungry I've gotten off of a crossover in my life.
Here's a question. Why is it like if you plucked an alien and put them on the planet and lined up every topping of pepperoni and asked them to pick one, would they just like, why is pepperoni the number one? What about it is it?
It's the right mix of spice to combat the cheese and sauce and bread, I guess.
It's just like it's become like the number one topping because of how it's like the prism of topping. Like we don't really know why, but it just is the best.
Yeah, I don't know. Pepperoni exists in other settings too. You can get a pepperoni sub, right? If you really want to drive the cholesterol up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if you say the word pepperoni, people think pizza. They're not like nobody's just going around eating pepperoni.
No. Unless Trailer Park Boys, they eat pepperoni sticks in that. Maybe that's a Canadian thing.
Italians eat pepperoni by the slices.
Okay.
Still about shares of Domino's. I know some people that work at Domino's and they're doing very well financially.
I don't know if it's actually open though.
No one cares about a pop report. Did you see that, Chris? He said, pepperoni is the prism silver. Nobody cares about pop reports. They just want it.
You remember that was a thing in the hobby for a little while where people literally just pivoted against pop reports. They were just like,
That was my favorite.
Pop reports don't matter. What?
That was
Till 3 a.m.
Can we get a Domino's, please? Order a Supreme for everyone.
You motherfucker. You take that back.
I like meat lovers.
What kind of crust?
Ooh, what are our options?
We got
hand tossed,
handmade pan,
handmade pan.
crunchy,
Nope.
and Brooklyn style.
Nope. Go for the hand toss. Trust me.
All right, hand tossed. Dude, it's like that quote.
What do you want on it?
You can't do pizza wrong. I mean, you can, but I'm gonna like it anyway. What do you got?
If you like Totino's, you just like pizza. That's
Dude, you can put meat lovers on there. At least pepperoni. I need pepperoni.
Okay, we got pepperoni.
Yeah, let's not make it too complicated. Let's just do pepperoni
Okay.
in honor of this discussion. Cost pepperoni.
I can't believe how much pizza is being ordered right now in the world, or, from this chat. It's amazing. All right, let's get back to cards. People are going to be really mad.
Is this a card show or just a pizza show from here on out?
I told you, man. I said, like, I didn't want to build it up too much when I messaged you. I was like, we got to do a little pizza thing, and you were like, whatever. I was like, it's going to blow up. I'm just, I know my chat. I know my peeps.
I took it very seriously because you very rarely will be like, this is a topic that we should discuss tonight. But pizza was one, and I was like, all right, we can. I wrote it down, and I mentioned at the beginning of hour 2. I was so ready for it. I was like, is it time?
Too early? Nope. Dude, pizza is in the second inning of its, growth. And I think it's finally going to get its due, and it's undervalued still, Pizza is the Michael Jordan of food. And I'm trying to think who's the LeBron. No, whatever. This is just too meta. Go ahead. Give us another question about cards.
All right. Questions about cards. How do you follow that? Oh, I feel like this question's been asked before, and we've answered it before, but Sweat47 says, do you ever experience hobby fatigue? How do you address it? You talk about pizza for an hour. That's how you address hobby. I don't know. What do you say? How do you address hobby fatigue?
I've had hobby fatigue for sure. I go into the deep end of like buying or looking into super things that make no sense for me. Just like totally pivot. Start looking at. That's what got me into football. And then I made like a pivot into Pokemon for a month because I just like was so over a lot of things. Or the other thing I'll do is just like not buy cards for a while. Like I'll have stretches in my eBay where like I haven't bought a card in a month, and it's because I spend that month listening to more content, or I just stop buying cards. Just like put my ear to the ground and like try to listen to what other people are doing and don't buy anything. I think that's a good thing to do.
Makes sense. Switch it up a little bit. Is hobby fatigue, this comes from 13 Poopies, is hobby fatigue when I had to ask Josh for help about my addiction to commodity cards?
There's an addiction to commodity cards? 13 Publius is like one of the best members of the chat here. He's just always got good stuff to say.
Top commenter for sure. Oh, I just got a Gmail notification. Your Domino's order. Did you order?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and it's like a PSA screen. This is exactly what PSA's screen looks like.
The Domino's tracker? Yeah.
Okay, we all know this then. The Domino's tracker, it looks just like the PSA tracker.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't need to show it.
I enjoy
we're
it.
Not gonna be able to avoid pizza for the rest of the show. It's just so like ingrained in all of us. We're just fucked.
Yeah, let's see if we can work pizza into a couple more questions here. Oh, this is a good topic, actually. Iconic Card Collector says tax changes.
Ooh, yes, I did see this.
To the high-end markets.
Wait, the $600 thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so traditionally, correct me if I'm wrong, PayPal automatically issued 1099s if a seller sold $20,000 or more or 200 items or more.
Oh,
PayPal.
wrong.
Okay.
And.
Okay, so you need to do both. Now, PayPal will issue a 1099 if you've sold $600 or more worth of stuff.
Yeah, it's a total. It used to be and. I've read that so many times, and I've argued with people. I've read the verbiage many times. It's 200 transactions and $20,000, but there was a bill passed by the government where online companies have to issue 1099s for $600 and that's it. That's the news that I've read, and that's going to be 2022. That's huge.
That's my understanding of contractors for businesses. That's what we do at Card Ladder.
Oh, right. Huh?
What?
Okay.
Anyone who makes over $600 from you, who is not an employee, receives a 1099.
Oh, it's all contractors.
Yes. And who receives $600 from you over
It's going to be
the tax year has to receive a 1099.
Got it.
It's estimated to bring like an extra $8 billion in tax revenue to the government. So like they're like, yeah, let's do that.
That's hilarious. How the hell is that? How did you come up with that estimate? Because you still have to pay taxes on this stuff. What they're saying is that there's like $8 billion of taxes that are not paid every year because those people don't get 1099s, which
Correct.
is probably true.
Oh, dude, it's definitely true. Are you kidding? You know how many people in the hobby don't pay their taxes because they don't have a 1099 that forces them to? Dude, so many people.
So what's the impact of this? Like the question was about on the high-end market. I think the impact of this is on the low-end market.
Agreed.
High-end guys are already having to report digital transfers that.
Are they? It's bro.
Well, it is but I don't know. I don't want
I think
I don't wanna
everyone
speculate.
is going to have, like, I think it's going to be across the board.
Like, I mean, here's the thing. If you're making a lot of money in sports cards, just pay your taxes. It's not worth the risk to, like, your life. Getting audited and, like, having the government seize your funds and stuff is it's not good stuff. Pay your taxes. Report the income you've made from sports cards. You know, you should do that. You obviously, like, a 1099, just because you don't get a 1099 doesn't mean you don't have to report your income. It's just the 1099 is, like, something that the IRS, like, is actively aware of. So if they don't get a 1099, you know, they can still look into it. They can, like, look at your bank accounts and stuff, but if they don't have a 1099, they technically don't have to, like, look into it actively, but you still should be paying your taxes. Death, taxes, pepperoni pizza. That's right.
Excuse me. Okay, so good. So what does this do? What's the impact of this? Do we worry about
No, I mean, it means that people are going to be making less profits overall. Less money into the hobby and more into the government. Because let's be honest here, when people flip a card or they make money on a sale, guess what they do with the profits? They put it back into the hobby. And now if they have to give it to the government, it's an impact.
Yeah, it is. Long Island Sports Cards, spot on, bro. He says, even when I don't hit the thresholds, I report it. I have a business license and a tax number. Yep.
It's not worth the risk. Let me put it that way. It's not. Your life could be seriously impacted by not properly reporting your income to the government. And again, get an accountant. Find an accountant, someone that's reputable, someone in your area that you can trust, and you tell them your situation. You show them your PayPal statements, and ask them for help. Like honestly, if you don't know how to build a website, you ask someone to help you build a website. You don't know how to do your taxes, you ask someone for help. Bottom line.
Well said.
The world of specialization. Not everyone knows how to do taxes, just like not everyone knows how to do whatever job you do. Like it's just, it's a specialty.
Yeah. And most people can figure out how to do taxes, but your time is valuable. And there's going to be lots of things you don't know about because you don't have the expertise. So let an accountant help you.
And a CPA and a tax lawyer, like there's all kinds of roles.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Someone was just like, how the government's stealing our money. What's a different topic?
So this from Grail Chaser 77. NFL.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude, he sent 10 questions. NFL Prism has a 34% gem rate this year. 34% is low.
Very low.
Will NBA Prism be better?
Football Prism silvers are already like way more rare than basketball, and now the gem rate is lower. Dang, because I've seen like the Burrow silvers, um, PSA 10 sell for like 2,500, and I've been buying raws at like 300. So I'm like 35% still in favor of grading it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I feel like the basketball is going to be a similar design and like yeah, same like company, same manufacturer. I would guess that they're similar. I don't know.
Yeah. Good. No, you're. I think that doesn't bode well for basketball prism grading well. So we started talking about basketball prism, and that made me start thinking about what cards I want to buy from basketball prism this year, and that made me start thinking about the Nebula. I would love to get Luka's Nebula from this year's prism, and then that made me think about Golden Auctions on their flash auction that's running now and ends on Thursday. Let me make sure that's right. Ends on Thursday, the 18th. They have this card running. Yes, the 2019 Prism Choice Nebula. You can't see it, but it's a BGS 9.5. 2019 Prism Nebula Kobe BGS 9.5. Current bid 48,000. That's a pretty cool card.
Running on the old platform.
Running on the old platform. It looks like it. I don't know. Maybe the behind the scenes something got changed around, but
Well, I heard that he meant the next like big quarterly auction.
okay. There are 2 MJ Fleer PSA 10s.
There's always two.
It's like Noah's Ark of MJ Fleers. Oh shit! There's a 2000 Bowman Chrome Refractor Brady BGS 9.
What's it at?
39K.
That's a great card. I heard you guys talk about that on Stacking Slabs, and God, I hate this fucking phrase so much, but I feel like that card hasn't been talked about much.
Dude, that card is super flying under the radar.
Hasn't gotten
Underrated. Not
you.
getting Yo, what's up, David from Dallas? Okay. By the way, when I was scrolling through Nat's collection, he has a Tom Brady folder. He has a Bowman Chrome Refractor Rookie Brady BGS 9.5.
Well, yeah. If he didn't have it, I'd be like, what the hell?
Right, Nat's held to a different standard.
That's a rare card, right?
What's that?
That's a rare card, and I mean, condition-wise.
Yes, there are 7 PSA 10s.
What? Are you serious?
Yes,
How many? What the fuck? 7?
7, dude. That's $1 million.
Dude. Are you serious?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay, I don't know shit about that card now.
So I was wondering why we only had the PSA 9 in card ladder.
What's the deal with the 10? Is it like centering? What the fuck? 7?
Pop 7. PSA 10 is Pop 7. It has sold once in the history of eBay.
Are you serious?
Yes. I added all the grades. I added like 10 grades to this card because it's very conditioned.
What the fuck? Okay, why? What is it about it? Is it like the centering, the edges? What the hell?
I don't think centering can be it because the base cards do well. Right? There's plenty of gem base versions.
How many PSA 9s are there?
There are 56 PSA 9.
Okay, so it's like a rare card.
It is rare.
It's not like it's like a vintage card that's impossible to 10. It's like an actual rare card.
It's rare. There's 2 PSA 8.5s and 11 PSA 7s. I can't see how many PSA 8s right now. There are 31 BGS 9.5s.
It's rare. It's just rare.
And 76 BGS 9s. And the one on Golden right now is the BGS 9.
It's just rare. I mean, you also have to remember that when the cards were released for Brady's rookie year, he was not like a touted. He wasn't like a Deshaun Watson or like a fuck, I suck at.
Joe
He's not like
Burrow.
an Andrew Luck or Joe Burrow, right? He was a 6th-round pick or whatever. So like he doesn't have a ton of, like high-profile rookie cards.
That's no.
I don't know if that.
He hardly has any second-year cards. Also, like hardly any.
Wow, that I didn't realize the Bowman Chrome Refractor was that rare. I stand corrected here. I thought like there was a ton of those, but okay, wow.
Dude, that card is unbelievably rare for what it is. So we also added the Bowman Chrome Refractor Raw of Tom Brady. It has sold at auction 36 times ever on eBay.
Wow. Okay, so the Contenders is like a common card.
Compared to this one.
Wow.
The last Raw sold for $25K. The last Raw.
That's incredible. I did not know that. Okay. The Brady Bowman Chrome Refractor is a rare card.
Yeah. Someone's got one of those sitting out at the Dallas Card Show. Might be worth thinking about.
It's like, Prism Silvers, they're not rare. There's a ton of them. You just kind of like get conditioned to that. But there are actually, and like LeBron Topps Chrome Refractor isn't rare. There's quite a few of them. The PSA 10s still like over 100 of them. But to hear 7 PSA 10, wow.
Yeah, that card is crazy rare. There are 3 Kobe Chrome Refractors, a PSA 10, a BGS 9.5, and a PSA 9. Another Giannis RPA.
BGS 8. I mean, it's a flash sale, right? They're all like 7-day auctions.
Yes. Correct.
Interesting.
I was wondering why, because there are 3,200 items. That's a lot, and people said, well, this is probably people who paid for their auctions with cards, and so Golden needs to turn those around, because they let you do that. They let you send in cards to pay for your card that you won. So,
David's drunk. Robert Orsberg. I can't scroll up on comments. What the hell's happening right now?
damn, your comments got froze.
No, it's not froze. I can only see one at a time, and it won't let me scroll up or down.
Come on, Instagram. I still can't go live from my own phone.
Are you serious? You're on someone else's phone?
On Dina's phone.
Get a better phone. God damn it.
It's not my fucking phone. It's Instagram.
Did you delete the app and re-download it?
I did everything.
You have like an iPhone 4 or something?
XR.
How do we know when our pizza's here?
You just like, you fucking hungry motherfucker. You're like, this is all great. When's the fucking pizza here?
They're currently doing a quality
They're in
check.
quality check.
Oh, dude, there is a fucking blog article from a dude who literally like staked his car outside of a Domino's, put in the order, and proved scientifically that tracker is bullshit. Like he literally was like, had binoculars, watched the dudes inside the Domino's, and was like, "You're not fucking prepping it." And like it was just it's totally made up. Just FYI, the whole Domino's tracker, not real.
So it's just a big illusion. Look, it switched over to delivery
Oh, look at that. Zane left the store.
at 12:58. Zane heard us talking about him and left.
He's probably watching crossover right now.
That's the nice thing about Domino's. They deliver super late.
Yeah, I'm freaking thrilled. I'm looking to see if there's anything else special. I mean, there's a lot of great cards, but like,
I kind of want you to not bring them up because there's a couple I'm looking at. So just shut your mouth.
all right.
Quality reviews stuck there for weeks. Oh wait, this is pizza, not PSA.
You looking at this Luca Purple Ice PSA 10?
Dude, shut the fuck up. God damn it, I'm after those purple ices. I I need to complete my set of 2018 Prism Purple Ice. Fucking.
Oh shit! All right.
I like that one. That Luca.
Of course you do. Purple Ice. God, dude, it's like.
I don't like booklet cards. What, it was like an opulence, this
Yeah,
one?
the 5 mile.
Yeah. Booklets
I
get
just
too
like
clunky.
I just like the patch matches the colors of the card so well.
Looks good.
Wait, is this the Purple Ice or the green teal ice? Which one are we
This is
talking about?
Purple Ice out of 149.
Oh, it's numbered. Oh, wow. Okay. Must be worth $50,000.
Probably.
At least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every numbered Luca 2018 Prism is just automatically worth $50K.
Minimum. Undervalued.
It's
Okay.
second inning of those cards.
Last question at Grail Chaser sends in.
All right.
What is the best $1,000 card to invest in?
Oh my God. I hope you all get dizzy from this. This is your fault. He's doing so well too. He was doing so well tonight. I mean, you built him up and then you fucking killed it.
He is killing it.
He asked all those awesome questions just so he could build up some rep, and then at the end ask the terrible question of what should I
Okay, so
buy?
maybe we should answer this question then.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, maybe he's earned it. Well, I bought a shit ton of raw silver Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts cards because I'm gonna make a shit ton of money on those. There you go.
There you go. That's not even 1,000. That's 300 or whatever.
I bought a shit ton of those.
Mr. LAGN says Sports Illustrated for Kids, PSA 7, Tiger. $1,000.
$1,000. Hold on, let me think. You know what? This is gonna blow your mind. Trey Young, PSA 10, whatever the hell. This stuff is so low.
There you go.
I'm serious. Whoever's still in this chat, 58 people, you guys deserve to hear me say this. Trey Young stuff has gone down so much, I'd be looking to buy it right now. And all those dipshits who told you, oh, this is the best investment of the year when it was at $4,000 are just like swimming in their own BS right now because they're just getting fucking proven so wrong. And they're so stupid they said that. Now that stuff is like 1,500 or whatever his silver PSA 10 is, now it's a freaking steal. Go buy it. Because you know what's going to happen? People are going to hype him up going into next year.
They are.
You heard it here first, dude. I'm always the guy that's going to tell you to buy something after it's just been cut in fucking 2/3.
Yeah, I mean, we've had comps at like 1,700, 1,600. That's
Down it goes.
very low.
People are chasing it down. Fucking just wait a little bit longer and buy it at 1,400. Boom.
Nice.
Save up another $400. Grail Chaser 7.7 and buy that Trae Young PSA 10 silver. It'll go for 3,000 at the beginning of next year.
Mr. LAGN says, if I sent Josh wax, would he open it live?
I'd be such an asshole about it. I'm such a pretentious prick about wax. I'd be like, I shouldn't even be doing this, guys. Like, this doesn't make any fiscal sense.
Everybody would definitely know it was not his purchase.
I know.
From somewhere else.
I'm so annoying about it. I feel like I'm just like a prick about it, openly. I think it's a bad investment. I think it's dumb. You guys love it, I try not to shit on it too much, but I don't like it.
Haven't been buying much wax lately, though.
Because it's expensive, right?
It's expensive, and we had a run. It was fun. Now we're there's a box of 2017 status sitting here. There's a box of 2020 hoops sitting here unopened. We just haven't even opened it.
We also have some premium stock hoops.
We have NBA premium stock hoops.
Hold on a second. I think I figured out why. Because you can't grade the base anymore.
Dude, that's a part of it too. A part of it is definitely being annoyed that I have tied up serious 5 figures into grading 1,200 freaking cards.
Did you send that shit in?
Oh yeah, I'm sent in. I'm paid up. I had one order of several hundred
Or the price hike?
prior. Yeah, I sent several hundred in November, and I sent like 1,000 more in January.
1,000 cards.
Yeah.
Oh my
A lot
God,
of it was
dude.
like 2018 Prism. Like I would say a third of it was 2018 Prism stuff that like just was in a freaking box from when we pulled it all.
I have a bunch of Hertz and Burrow stuff. I'm just gonna eat it. I'm gonna pay 150 each card. I don't even care. Like I paid
To get
300 a pop. I paid 300 a pop. I'll pay 150 to grade each one. If it gets a 10, they sell for $2,000. You know, it's like I'm still in the green.
that's a little known secret, I think, to success in grading is availing oneself of the quick turnaround times, because profit margins on grading are still so what? It's $6 got cut into the freaking profit margin. A guy who was making $100 turn a base into a PSA 10 now makes 94. Boo hoo.
Well, so like I've had so many people message me being like, should I start grading with HJ or CSG? I fucked that up. Or SGC? And I'm like, just go do the math. It still is in favor of PSA. Like, there's more than just the Burrow Silver. That's just like what I'm focused on. But like, the Burrow Silver Raws are like $300, and the PSA 10s are going for like almost $3K. And the $150, you can 10x. It's like, are you serious? It still makes sense.
Yeah.
Guess what? Zane's our neighborhood.
Oh shit. All right. So it's about that time then. Good show, guys.
You're a private pizza eater. I get it.
Yeah, nobody should be subjected to watching me. Like Lefko said, I suck it off of the plate.
Yeah, you're just like,
All
I see it
right.
now.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, Eggman.